Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. That's good. And it feels weird. It feels weird streaming at this hour. Like a normal hour? Where human beings are normally awake? Kind of weird. Not gonna lie. Oh, my wrists and my back, and I don't know why my wrists are so stiff, actually. It's not like we were playing. Just everything feels stiff. Maybe I really am becoming an unk. Who knows? Let me adjust the lighting here real quick. That should be better now. Hey, our devil. Hello, Math. How's it going? And how is the rest of the Americas game? I mean, I see that it was a 2-0, so I guess people didn't have to suffer through it too much. I watched like the first couple rounds and then I was like, all right, I'm out. 100 throws. It was overtime. Jeez. Damn. You know what I just realized? I don't think I really recognized Cryo at all during that first map on Haven. Wow. I mean, he was apparently trying his darndest to drag them across into map 3. 35 kills. Jeez. They choked a 5-round lead. I mean, 5 rounds though, it's not. I think Valorant just can get really streaky if you're not locked in. Yeah, I mean, I guess 11-6 is pretty. It's still pretty one-sided, so I guess it is a choke. But I never feel comfortable with a team unless they're at 12. I just feel like one round and especially if you're not snowballing the econ so hard. I don't know how it was in that game, but it's very easy in Valorant for your opponents to like just flip the snowball instantly. Was considering they were on attack. I guess so. Can't believe we're at that last stretch before Champs. What am I going to watch when the offseason hits, man? It will be a lot better this year, though, because Champs ended today, last year. So this year, it'll end later. Then we'll immediately go into Game Changers and Ascension. And then we'll only have, actually only have, a month and a half offseason. So everyone will be busy, you know, shitposting on Reddit for 2 weeks with Roster Mania, and then in off-season, 2 big off-season events will happen, and then we'll be back in. It really won't be that bad. It'll also just be kind of nice to not have to watch anything for a good month or so. What's up, Ronnie? I don't think it'll be as bad. I mean, literally the off-season. I mean, I guess we don't know exactly when kickoff is going to start, but if it starts at a relatively similar time, which I would assume it does because you still have the same number of events, you know, without drastically changing the league format. So literally the offseason is cut in half. So why do I feel like it's been as busy as last year despite longer season? I think it was just paced out better. I mean, I guess we also... There was EWC as well, but If you watched it, obviously that would be why. If you didn't, it was still only like a week, but so it doesn't feel like it was an off-season break, but you know, it spread things out a bit more. But I would say that they hit a better sweet spot in between like Masters and Stage 1 and such. We also did technically have more matches because we added a team, right? So we did have more matches. So like it probably resulted in a total like 1 or 1.5 weeks more than last year. Because we had 2 Ascension teams this year compared to the weird 11-team format last year. 농심부님 안녕하세요. Chad, I need energy to beat C9 because if they don't, so help me God, I'm going to stub my toe. Oh, not the toe. It sounds like a C9 hate watch from Novoid. Wait, Novoid, I don't think I've ever seen you speak so vehemently against a team. What's wrong with C9? But the way lots of top teams have a burnout kind of gaming this season was as busy as last year. Do they have burnout though? I don't think I've heard as much about it last year. I mean, if you mean top teams faltering, I don't think that's necessarily burnout. I think it's very different from last year. I think the energy like on stage and such is very different from last year. Last year it felt like even like upper finals teams couldn't really be bothered. But if you're talking about, you know, teams like Heretics and such faltering, I don't think that's necessarily burnout. Also, I'm gonna just be straight up honest. If Heretics do come out and say that it's burnout, I don't know if they already have in an interview, but if they do, and maybe they haven't, and I hope they don't, I think that's on them. Like, it might suck, but you've been doing this for, like, you know, years now, like 2 years plus. So, like, you knew. You knew it was gonna happen. But I don't think that's it. I don't think it's burnout. I think it's just the meta shifted pretty drastically compared to what it felt like on the surface. Kayak talked about them being a burnout. Yeah, I mean, Fnatic can be kind of excused because they've literally played like the most rounds or whatever in EMEA. So I guess Fnatic's a bit more excused. Also, yeah, but Kayak is his first year. I think rookies feeling burnout if you're in the top tier, if you're in the top playoffs, is very reasonable. I think that will happen because you're suddenly playing like way more on stage nonstop. So I think Kayak is totally makes sense. I think the first year, especially if you make it to playoffs, like every single time, and you go deep and you go to Masters, then I think so. But Gen G, I wouldn't say is. I think they might feel. I think the players and coaches might feel burnt out, but Gen G, they didn't fall last year at Champs because of burnout. And so it might just be carryover. I would say Gen G might be burnt out, but I don't think that's a result of the schedule. I think it's, again, a result of them not being able to figure out the meta for themselves. I'm probably one bad day from becoming a proper C9 hater. I'm going to stop my rant. What? Wait. So are you hating? You want NRG to make it, right? That's why we're hating on C9? Is that what's going on here? Fnatic is also really slow. Yeah, I mean, that's from a viewer perspective, though. That's from a viewer perspective. Did the meta change drastically from Toronto to Champs? I think it changed a lot more than people think. And I think people don't realize it changed a lot because not enough teams realized or, like, have figured it out for themselves. And so people aren't really... I mean, you know, the map changed for one. And I think that's pretty big, but I would say that there was still a big enough change. Like, I think the Waylay buff in and of itself was a pretty big change. You know, not like Teho being introduced to levels of change, but I think a lot of people on the surface think like, oh, you know, it was just like whatever. Like, if you want to use Waylay, you can. And in my head, I don't think that's it. But when we say meta, it's not just like an agent is playable or not. It's also, if one team starts doing that, how does that change overall how teams look at defaults, how teams look at pacing, timings, right? Like back in the day, like in 2023, literally, you could just go on a timer. Every 20 seconds, something needed to happen. And if it didn't, that team's going to lose. Like, that was how defaults were played. Now that's not the case anymore, right? So really have nothing against the team or the players. I just don't like the teams that knock out teams I like. So yeah, you're just big on energy. That's fine. Did you watch the POE2 live stream live? Yes, I did. I did, so we won't have to go back and watch it all. I haven't gone through all the patch notes yet, though. But we'll probably go through the non Q&A portion a little bit again today to jog my memory. I was watching the POE2 stream on one of my friends, another Nongshim streamer channel, and helping translate it for him. So, any teams you're aware of with a solid 7 or 6 map or even 6 map pool? Not clearly at the moment. I wouldn't say there's any clear ones at the moment. But I think there's a couple that are close, or like it just depends on whether, you know, A and B are actually prepped or not type deal. I don't think there's anyone that is as close as like Gen G felt before Champs last year. What stream were you on? You can't just do collabs and not tell us. Well, it was on Naver, so it's not like it was just on they were just watch partying it, and he was like, would you mind coming on and helping translate? And I was like, yeah, I might as well watch it, so I just hopped on. I thought he was like, are you gonna stream too? But like we would be speaking 99% in Korean, so I was like, no. Also, maybe I can I'll stub my toe with a new thing to say. It is kind of funny, actually. I'm scared for Fnatic. Yeah, Fnatic feels pretty weak on maps. Yeah. Legit, I was once a C9 hater after the whole X-Guard versus Paper X stuff. Wait, why did that make you a C9 hater? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, No Void. Instantly, my head went to Lego when you said that. That's funny. All right, chat. We can keep discussing VCT stuff as always in chat. But today the plan is gonna be to look over POE2 update stuff and probably play the campaign a little bit. So we'll see. Because I'm a Paper X Glazer. Well, I'm just not seeing the connection to C9. Why did you hate? Why not hate the X-Guard? Why did we hate C9 because of that? Am I misremembering something? Am I missing something in my memory here? I don't know why disliking the old guard because you like Paper X would lead you to hate C9. New updated values for the patch notes. Oh, they're just gonna constantly update the... As they do. Oh boy, this is a lot of reading. Where's the... the 10-hour raccoon meme. Why is that still on my front page? What the heck? You might be mixing up my emotions with that guy. No. That person's just saying that they were once a C9 hater because of the X-Guard stuff, so I'm just confused. No, this is just... Oh, did they just break it up part by part? Oh, this is the whole hour. Wait, the main part was a whole hour? Holy...
Hi,
I don't even remember.
And welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an
That's crazy.
what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are
The last ARPG I played was Torchlight over 10 years ago. Is POE2 good for newish players? POE2 is great for new players. It's gonna get a little like if you're considering it, it's definitely worth getting into now. The only problem is usually you'd have to buy the early access key or get an early access key to play it. This update, they're going to have a free to play weekend on launch this weekend on the new update launch. So probably the best time to at least try it. If you're interested, you can like try to win a giveaway or buy the early access key. I would say the reason I say that is because they're already expanding the passive tree a lot this update, so it'll probably only get into more PoE territory in terms of barrier of entry. But I would say that it's good. It's fairly intuitive. The only thing is it can be a little bit micro intensive during the campaign. So, you know, the combat, like not like high APM, but you know, lots of boss fights, etc. So. because MCE was the coach at the time. Ah, for guard. Yeah. No, I remember that. We can skip this. The acting campaign and all that is great. Let's talk about mechanics. Sounds fun. It is fun. About the new Fox commands, do you want the unmute command to at you, Chobra? Actually, yes, that would be fantastic, No Void. I don't hate them anymore. It was just like a 1 month thing. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. You know, you're willing to admit that it was just a temporary thing. That's cool. I was looking for a new game to play anyway. I'll try it during the free-to-play period if I like. Yeah. I would definitely try it during free-to-play. And the thing is it will be free-to-play when it fully launches. But if you're like worried about kind of barrier of entry, or like you don't want to have to look at guides on launch, on full launch, then you know it's good to get in during early access just to get yourself familiar with it. But once it full launches, which originally last year they said hope they're aiming for end of this year, I don't think that's happening, but probably like mid next year, because it does sound like they'll probably just skim stuff to like get a full launch, and then they'll just add more stuff in again later. So it will be free to play then. So, you know, worst case, you wait a little bit.
When you hold down the dodge roll button, your character will go into a sprint after they finish the roll.
Yeah, so I added sprint, which is huge. That's huge.
The primary purpose of this feature is to make navigating areas faster when out of combat. Because of that, if you do take a hit while sprinting, you'll fall to the ground.
I do think that's so funny. The way you just topple someone.
Of this feature is to make navigating areas faster when out of combat.
It's like go. Ooh.
If you do take a hit while sprinting,
he's just on the ground, getting beaten up.
The best idea is to use a skill when you see monsters. That'll break you out of the sprint so you can engage with no danger. If you do need to run away from monsters, just hold space.
I mean, yeah, people are
vulnerable during the roll, and you're fast while
I think that's nice. I think that is actually really. I think this is an underlooked quality of life where you can dodge roll, which gives you iframes. But then before you'd have to like dodge, like you'd have to try to spam dodge roll, and like if you got hit right in between, then you got wrecked. But if you dodge roll and just hold it, then you start sprinting right away, so you can actually get some more distance. I think that's a massive quality of life for people who aren't like as good at the game.
Significant change to POE2's gameplay. What I like most about it is that we can accelerate the pace of the game for those who want that, without having to compromise on POE2's more visceral combat systems. Okay, so to Mark to talk about later. New systems creating a build system.
And then this is huge.
One of the major issues is the limitation of only having one support gem of each type on your character. We didn't want builds to just become using the same 5 most powerful supports in every skill. The problem with this design, though, is that it's actually working against using multiple skills in your build. If you can only use each support gem on one skill, it means that you're encouraged to go all in on that one ability. And we want to encourage you to combo your abilities, something needed to change. So with that in mind, we've removed the restriction of having one of each support gem per character.
You know what I liked about this update? And like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not as jaded coming into this, mostly starting with POE2. But I about this update reveal, what I liked was both Jonathan and Mark, like, they explained that they were stubborn about things. They explained why, and then they said, yeah, but it didn't go the way we wanted. Like, we admit it, right? Our vision was this. I like that they clarify that. Like, it's not that they think their vision itself was wrong, but it wasn't achieving that. And so I think that's honestly undervalued, because I think it's important. It's important to know why you did things. Sprinting should be huge for evasion builds too. Yeah, true.
If you can only use each support gem on one skill,
Poison build's about to pop off with the support gems. True. Dot builds in general, yeah.
Something needed to change.
Dude, I just realized that they just had lightning sphere on every single skill slot here to drive the point home. That's so funny.
Want to encourage you to combo your abilities. Something needed to change. So with that in mind,
that's great.
Remove the restriction of having one of each support gem per character. You can now use as many copies as you like. This should.
Streamer, unmute the stream. We can't hear. Mute the tennis. That's good. That's good, actually. That's great. Thank you, Novoid.
Drastically increase the amount of possible builds and increase the... This should drastically increase the amount of possible builds and increase the amount of skill diversity.
You can't do this anymore, by the way. You can only... No, you could always sync them to the multiple hotkeys, though, right? Even if you only had one gem. Am I misremembering that? I might be misremembering that. Maybe that's last epoch. I don't know. They're all driving into one. I know what you're talking about. I know you can't have like two different ones, because I was doing that with Spearfield or whatever it was called. Yeah, you can still have multiple keys, yeah. But hello, H nicknamey. I am an ARPG fan. Love them. Haven't been as hardcore of a fan of them as recently, but I've always enjoyed them. But back in the day, it was much more casual. But we're getting back into them.
Suffered from the previous restriction. For example, a poison build previously couldn't add poison to more than one skill.
This is huge, though. You're right. Like, poison now being able to stack from different skills is actually big. Actually, it makes me want to try a poison build now.
Skills previously couldn't scale to end game because the supports that would make
this is also huge. I don't know. I very much like doing like homebrew builds and jank stuff, so it's gonna be fun. Like, because now there's just so much more to actually try. Because there's no downside, right? There's no sacrifice. Like before, it was like if I wanted faster attacks on one, and I wanted it on another, like I had to. I just knew there was a significant downside. But now it's just like, well, I guess I'll try it. I'll try it on this skill.
There wasn't enough feeling of progression in the supports as you went through the game.
I
There were
don't
only 3 tiers of support.
see
Many of
this.
the most important ones were given out at tier 1. Also,
I don't-
there were no strict upgrades.
I mean-
meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required.
I guess
quite a lot
that's
of
fine.
thinking. No strict upgrades, and many of the most important ones were given out at tier 1. Also, there were no strict upgrades, meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required quite a lot of thinking. In order to solve these issues, we now also have multiple levels of many supports as you go through the game. For example, double barrel support.
I
gives
do
you an
think
extra
it's
bolt,
nice
but
that
the
there
cost
are
of 30%
distinct
less reload
upgrades.
speed.
Like,
At
you know
tier
what this
2,
should
the
do?
penalty gets lowered to 20%.
You know what this should do, though, is that it should definitely just make the progression feel better.
But then at tier 3, the support gem gets something new.
Some skills reload automatically when heavy stunning an enemy with them. I do like that some of them will have like tier 3s that are just different, or at least add something new.
It now reloads automatically when you heavy
But
summon
I feel like probably not all of them will be like this, where it's just
In
straight
some
up an
cases,
upgrade.
The highest tiers might work a little differently.
Yeah,
You'll
like
have to
rapid
decide if you
casting.
like the upgrade or not, depending on your build. For example, rapid casting. The first couple of levels gives 15, then 20% increased cast speed. But then at tier 3, it changes to a new approach.
Sword skills have 10% increased cast speed for each different spell you've cast in the last 8 seconds. Right. So normally, it's just straight up faster for that skill. But this is you just want like
For
giga
each different
rotations.
spell you cast in the last 8 seconds, you get 10% increased cast speed, which could be a pretty big bonus if you use a lot of different spells.
Could
So
be
that's pretty
cool.
good for upgrades through the campaign, but we wanted to add a little more spice to the endgame for supports too.
I hate that supports don't have gem levels in PoE2. It does. I like now having played PoE1. I get that. But if you have more of this, I think it's okay.
That's where our new system, lineage supports, comes in. You can think of these like unique items, but for supports.
I think once like
There are
drops and
supports that are only
whatnot gets
available at
fleshed
endgame,
out a
but
bit
they're much
more.
powerful. Like Ratha's Assault.
Yeah, I didn't get to read all of these. Supported crossbow animation skills cannot reload. Supported skills load 3 bolts when you dodge. Right.
It's an upgraded version of double barrel that reloads your skill as you dodge roll, as well as increasing the number of bolts it can hold. But it does mean that it's the only way you can reload the skill now. Now, unlike regular supports,
That is funny.
you can't find
Zarok's Refrain. Supported spells that affect an area around you or a target location. Supported spells echo twice, causing their effects to happen again after a short delay, but they're given a short cooldown. Cannot support channeling skills or remote skills. Oh, so it's just an echo,
these
but
with the uncut
it adds
support.
a...
Just like unique items, many of these can be found from specific bosses.
Hmm.
And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too.
Wild Shard on casting supported spells. Supported skills have a 20% chance to fire 8 additional projectiles. Oh, wait, per wild shard. Wait, that's a lot, no? All launches and launch missiles so fire projectiles in a circle.
And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too. Some of them are fairly rare.
Interesting. Let's to all supported skill gems. 10% quality of supported skills.
Others fairly common.
It does. I do think that the current setup on paper will always feel more restricting than PoE1 in terms of skill builds. But hopefully just like the movement and mechanics kind of adds to that.
Some of them are build defining.
Well, it'll build into all crossbow skills on dealing a killing blow with this. Ah, okay. I mean, that's...
Some of them are build defining.
It does feel like the crossbows just in general are getting buffed a lot just through a lot of these support skills. He promises to sleep when Nongshim Red first wins a trophy. Would I, though? If they won a trophy, I don't think I would, but I'm fine with that. That's great. No, that's good. That's good. Totems created by support skills have 50% or more life. Totems created by skills trigger Tahua's Vengeance, which we don't know what that is. Oh, they explode.
Others are just straight up power upgrades.
It's a support skill treat enemy monster elemental resistance. Wait, this just guarantees elemental resistance inversion? What? Is that not just broken?
Others, some of them are build defining. Others are,
wait, I don't see this exploding.
Some of them are build defining.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just supposed to show that it's tankier.
Others are just straight up power upgrades.
And that's crazy.
All in all, there's around 40 lineage supports being added throughout the endgame. So there's a lot of power to find out there. Now, the new support gems are certainly going to open up a lot of builds, but of course we have a huge range of improvements to individual character classes as well. As well as adding new skills, we had a big focus on buffing existing skills so that they can scale well into the endgame. There's a huge amount to cover here, so we're not going to discuss everything. We're just going to quick fire through some of the coolest changes.
The coolest.
To make cold a more useful element on the range, Escape Shot now creates fragments of ice whenever it hits the ground. These fragments explode after a short time, making the skill better for killing groups of enemies.
Yeah, that's cool.
But not only that, we added an ice fragment support that creates more of them when killing frozen enemies.
Honestly, just ice being more like shard based is cool now.
That allows all your arrows to create ice fragments.
Eddie, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a good stream.
We've also modified Snipe to consume frozen from enemies, dealing a huge amount more damage, giving you a lot harder to fire against bosses. This is actually a change you'll see throughout the entire game. Since it's a lot harder to freeze a boss, you should get a bigger reward for it.
Wait, what was that?
About this is that the bonus is a lot higher against bosses.
100% more damage against... Oh, I see.
For it. Better. Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had.
Isn't this the one that got nerfed though? Toxic Growth?
Another theme you'll see throughout the game is making...
Isn't this the one that was broken?
Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had. Now Toxic Growth is a rain skill, so you can spam it more easily. I do think it's a little unfortunate. I hope they revisit this. The skills that have movement tied to them. Because I liked that as a concept, that some skills just had built-in like directional movement.
I get why. Like I get why they're doing this, and I think it's good changes for now. But I hope they add back in some that are like strict tide movement. But
And
for
we also
now,
added a new poison skill while we were at it, called Toxic Domain.
poison. Do I
Creates a
want to
small
play
area around you
poison?
that makes all your attacks create toxic growth pustules, but attached to monsters. Another skill that was annoying to use was Electrocuting Arrow. It's now just a regular arrow, making it easier to use. But it also means you can support it with projectile supports. And it now also has area of effect, making it a tool for more than just single target, and allowing it to scale into the endgame. We
Jump
also
back was
added
so
a new
inconvenient. Yeah, I mean, I can see why. There was like some of the spear skills were a little annoying to use because of the movement. And like I get that. But I like it as a concept that certain skills have like that tied to them, and there's a little bit of minimaxing you can do there, but
Reservation called Mirage Archer. This is a meta skill that allows you to create shadowy clones of
so
yourself.
this is an actual
Use a
clone
skill
though,
of your
right?
choice.
Not just one above your head.
Of course, one of the other big problems the Ranger had was survivability. Evasion was the weakest of the three defenses, and we wanted to change that. Currently, evasion doesn't evade all types of hits in the game, so you're still vulnerable to things like slams or unblockable attacks. To make evasion characters more tanky, we're adding a new mechanic called Deflect. Unlike evasion,
There's a chance to
works
deflect
on
damage
everything.
from hits. Chance to deflect damage from hits. Well, everything other than dots, right? Preventing 40% of the damage from those hits and ailments they inflict. Oh, and from the ailments, though. But, again, I assume this is... Like, it wouldn't work on Burning Ground, then. Don't know if... Does Burning Ground count as a hit?
And if you successfully deflect a hit, you take 40% less damage. Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of deflection based on your evasion.
Wait.
Deflect works on everything. And if you successfully deflect a hit, you take 40% less damage. Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of deflection based on your evasion.
Oh, so deflection still has to be a separate mod. It's not built into evasion. But it is based off of evasion. Oh. I see.
And there's a bunch of it available on the passive tree too.
Dude, I'm so excited to see the new
Deflection
passive
evolved in
tree.
addition to evasion, so this is an upgrade for regular hits too. And unlike evasion, there's no maximum chance.
Wait.
It's unupable on the pure evasion. Less damage. Works on everything. And if you successfully deflect a hit,
Right, so it's
based on
just
your evasion,
additional. It's just additional, but it's suppression on
is rolled
everything,
in addition
basically.
to evasion. So this is an
That's
upgrade for
sick.
regular hits too. And unlike evasion, there's no maximum chance. You can reach 100% deflect against all hits if you spec into it enough.
I... That sounds a little OP. But, okay. So at a certain... I know I have to review exactly what the armor changes are, but at a certain point, is this not just infinitely better than armor?
Of course, this is a buff that helps all Dex characters, so the Mercenary and the Monk, but especially the Huntress, are seeing big defense boosts from this as well. Speaking of defensive mechanics, let's talk about block and parry. Now, one of the big concerns on the release of the Huntress was parry feeling unreliable. One of the big reasons for this is there's a lot of hits that are not blockable, and thus not parryable either. So a huge balance change we're making is that now, everything is blockable, except for specifically unblockable red flash skills that bosses use.
Was that a red flash? Is that what it was?
Skills that bosses use.
Because the orange
Everything is blockable,
circle is
except for
being...
specifically
It's a
unblockable
parry,
red
right?
Flash skills that bosses use.
That glow is not that big.
This makes parry much more reliable. And not only that, but to make block and parry nicer to use, you now also move faster than before while using these abilities.
That's
This is a
nice.
massive buff to passive block as well. So to counter that, we did have to lower the max passive block a bit, but overall you should feel much safer.
Parry...
Fire skills on the warrior were
do I
not
want to
really
go
cutting
for a
the mustard. So
parry
we decided
build?
we needed to upgrade a bunch of them, but also add some more as well. Let's start with a buff. Volcanic fish are now branches into multiple fishes, giving it much more clearing potential. We've also added
You used to be able to do that with a support, right? With extra
giving it
branches?
much more clearing potential.
I was so excited for that skill when the early access first launched, by the way. 75% to 50% a bit. I mean, but the math technically still works out as a buff, right? I mean, we'll have to see how it feels, but I think it's gonna feel better. I think basically the fact that you don't have to really worry about it is gonna make it feel better. What are the parry-based classes as of now? Hunter, someone else? Well, it's just shield and spear, but you could use it with another class.
We've also added a new skill called Forge Hammer. This skill throws a molten
Dude, so many people are going to be playing this. Who knows if it's going to be good, but it looks sick.
Using a war cry makes the
that looks sick.
Making a bunch of volcanic fishes around. Volcanic fishes re-trigger when you slam them, so it's a great skill to make a flaming arena to fight a boss.
Yeah, it's basically Thor cosplay.
Perfect strike to have much larger area of effect.
Dude, perfect strike, bigger AoE is so good.
Molten blast do not always force you to move forward.
Also,
it feels a lot better to use now.
Yeah, Molten Blast not forcing you to move forward is actually sick. Like, this is one where the extra movement was more aesthetically locked, and it did not feel good.
The skill now has massively boosted chance to ignite monsters as well. And
it's passive block, so being able to ignore 50% of hits is great. Yeah. I mean, like, the number itself is nerfed significantly, but it applies to everything now passively, so... I think the passive block change is going to feel tons better. It might not feel the best for, like, who knows? Like, if you're min-maxing for endgame bosses and stuff, I don't know how that works out. I actually don't think I ever got to any of the bosses in PoE2, but I think for the majority of players, it's going to feel a lot better.
Due to a new glory skill called
I do want to...
Ancestral Cry charges up with glory by igniting
Dude, I forget how glory works.
After you do, use it to channel.
This looks so
power.
Sick, though.
Every attack will be ancestrally boosted with fire. Your very steps will explode, triggering volcanic fishes, and molten balls will erupt from your attacks.
Knocks back and interrupts enemies in small area. Consumes all endurance charge and increases warfare duration. Converts 100% physical damage, fire damage. Your footsteps trigger volcanic steps. Melee strikes and slams are ancestrally boosted, and your melee strikes trigger volcanic eruption. It's a lot in one skill.
Ancestrally.
This looks so sick. And you got the link to the vid? Oh, this one? There you go. Glory was off of kills. Okay, gotcha. I don't think I ever used any glory skills. What do you think of Leaf Star? I don't know. We'll think about that a little bit today. But probably what we'll do is I want to review this in the patch notes a little bit, because I watched this, but I was busy like trying to translate as much as I could live for my friend, and then I haven't looked through the actual notes yet. Obviously, these are going to be updated as we go, and then we'll probably just like play a little bit of the campaign again because it's been so long.
Use it to channel Calm's ancestral power.
This looks so sick, though. I'm so tempted, but. I don't know what it is. Whenever I think everyone else is going to be playing it, I suddenly just don't want to play it. And the worst part is I don't like live my everyday life like that. But I don't know. I don't know.
Boosted with fire. Your very steps will explode, triggering volcanic fishes, and molten balls will erupt from your attacks.
I'm not sure why. That's what that skill would look like without any upscaling tech.
Another area we wanted to improve. Now that we've got sprint, we actually don't need to have a cooldown on shield charge anymore.
Dude, no cooldown is huge.
The further away you are when you use it.
Also, damage by distance is sick.
Shield wall got significantly upgraded AoE.
I've never used this skill.
Shield charge right through it to trigger all the walls.
Maybe I'll try that.
Shield wall cry. Fortifying Cry gives you a defensive buff, but it also
It's
builds
guard.
up charge on your shield that empowers your other shield skills.
Shockwave off of it.
And Magma Barrier now doesn't require timing in order to use. Just wait for your shield to charge up and block.
That's fair, I do that too.
Enemies that are primed for stun.
It's good to hear that other people are like that too.
And we changed the Sunder interaction with Armor Break. It now also gives a Sundered Armor debuff that makes enemies take 40% extra physical damage.
That's big. That's actually big. Sunder might see some use now. All I know is these new skills are going to fry my GP. I am a little scared, but they have said that they feel they've made very big steps from the technical aspect during the Q&A as well. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, like a shield build might be worth trying. I have a feeling there will be a lot more viable builds this league. I think so. I mean, literally just the support gem changes will make more viable builds. Obviously, you'll still have OP builds. That will always happen. That will always happen. There will be OP builds. There will be simpler builds, like one-button builds. That will always happen. But there will be more viable ones where, you know, you don't feel like you have to just, like, grind away for 30 extra minutes per boss or whatever. Does the YouTube command still randomly cycle? No, it just brings up whatever I linked it last. Although, chat, I am thinking about this. Since I was thinking about lowering the YouTube memberships, I think I might paywall my VODs. I know that makes it sound really evil, but that would help with the YouTube commands. That would help with overall just channel cleaning up and organization and whatnot. But I'm mid consideration. I don't care if there are OP builds. It just needs to be more than one of them. YouTube allows that. Yeah, YouTube allows that. You can put VOD. You can do the live stream not paywalled, but you can put the VODs behind membership. And I think that might just help clean things up and actually put more value to them. But then I would just lower the cost so like Twitch people can do that as well. I don't care if they're OP, it just needs to be more than one of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm that way. Like, I don't need to play the OP build. But, you know, if I thought something would be cool and then I realized, like, it's not cool, but it also doesn't feel good, but, like, you know, like, whatever, then it's just like, oh, well, that doesn't feel good. But I think literally just the support gem changes will make it a lot more viable now.
Undergone some pretty significant changes, too. We wanted the...
Well, no, Void, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's one of the problems with the way that I had that, and what that does is it brings up the latest one that was updated, which would sometimes be yesterday's stream on YouTube. So it goes to the YouTube stream VOD because that's my newest video. Yeah, that's one of the things I hated about it. Yeah, I did read that on the metadata, and I tried it, but it was annoying.
To feel more like using an ultimate.
Yeah, if it's cheap enough, it'd be okay, just because you don't have it in Twitch. Yeah, exactly.
So we've changed this totem to require 3 endurance charges.
Shield? I don't know. I'm still waiting because wait, hold on. Well, hold on. Actually, so I've heard that they heard our cry about why no changes to Witch Hunter, and I've heard that they've nerfed us. Is that true? Oh, it's not even here. Did I get one guide? Dude, I have heard that. Yeah. Wait, why is this here? Because it's a skill gem. Sorcery Ward, because that's what it is, right? Sorcery Ward was the Witch Hunter ascendancy skill, right? That was not what they were supposed to do. Mercenary Witch Hunter. Sorcery Ward is the sick... Where is it? Yeah, grants skill Sorcery Ward. So Sorcery Ward was actually really sick. I really liked it. It basically gives you like the extra... Well, I guess we'll put it in here. Then you go to skills. Oh, you can't see it here. Anyway, it gives you elemental shield. But they quality now grants less conversion of your armor innovation. I think that's changed. No, the thing is I don't think this will be like straight up a nerf. I don't think it will actually mean that you tank less. I agree. I think it's both, right? I think it's because of deflection existing. I think it's the armor changes. So it would probably end up being too OP, but I did think it was just funny that, you know, as someone who started Witch Hunter as my first ever character, I was like, okay, maybe we'll get something cool. And then there was nothing, and then they're like, new update to the patch notes. Actually, we nerfed one of your things. I just thought that was funny.
around generating endurance
A lot of
charges,
mercenary
you can
speed.
summon
Yeah, I mean, watching through it again, like, especially if you're crossbow based, like, crossbow's getting changed a lot. The passive tree is obviously changing a lot. Like, the reloads, the being able to put multiple support gems, I think that all probably works out. The other thing is for me, the biggest thing I wanted to try, the reason I started Witch Hunter originally is because of this. 20 passive skill points become weapon set skill points, so you can branch out your skill point further. But without swords, there isn't much to do. But maybe I'll try spears. Maybe I'll try spear and crossbow. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's any synergy there. So I think you probably wait until this really comes through. Witch Hunter does have built-in explode. You mean the enemies exploding? Witch Hunter's farming, like building up into late game, is sick. Didn't Gemling Ascendancy allow you to use support? Oh, I think it did. I never tried it, actually. You can use each type of support gems. Well, it says additional time. Now it's unlimited. Yeah, they will have to have changed this, though. Did they, is it in the patch notes yet? The gem studded, it no longer grants you can use that. Instead, it now provides for each color. Oh, this is the one that changed to the bonuses. But it's only one color that's the most numerous. How does that work with, isn't there? Oh, this is just maximum. These are just per, okay. And this one just gives you one extra bonus depending on which one you have the most of. It doesn't feel great. You're going to do spears and crossbow? Yeah, I mean, because in my head I was like, I guess with spears I haven't gone back and tried it, so I might try it. Yeah, spears and crossbow could be cool. It's not that far to get to spear tree anyway. Spears and crossbow could be cool. I don't remember the skills and what would work, but what are the classes in PoE? So you have, well, in PoE2, you have, we don't have all of them yet, but the base classes are Huntress, Mercenary, Monk, Ranger, Sorceress, Warrior, Witch. Those are like, you know, basically these categories. And then, wait, what the? Oh, they're next to each other. That's why. I was like, why is there 4 there? And then each of them have a subclass, which is an ascendancy. So, Mercenary has Gemling Legionnaire, which is like based on being able to use more gems and stat stacking. Witch Hunter, which is just like straight up, you know, more like damage and defensive buffs and being able to use more weapon points. And then Tactician, which is like banner and totem based, which I haven't tried. I might try that. I might try the Heimerdinger build.
Entire forest of totems.
There's what? We still have like 4 more or something?
There's now a support to make perfect strike generic charges.
Oh, maybe only 1 more. Which one are we missing?
From heavy stuns as well.
Duelist.
Totems, we wanted to upgrade the Warbringer.
No, we're missing 2 more.
Made to this class, Answered Call now gives an extra totem, and the spirits have just been generally buffed in many ways.
Yeah, this is cool too. Honestly, Warbringer seems like it'd be really fun to try now. I don't think I've also ever seen gameplay look this crisp on anybody's stream. What kind of computers are they running at GGG?
We've also merged the Great Wolf Howl and Warcaller's Bellow support. So
how are they getting this performance?
And Encased in Jade no longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making a much better defense.
Dude, that is crazy. Wait, if it doesn't get removed, what happens? You just get a certain number of stacks, and then for that zone, you're just permanently more tankier? Is that not insane? Templar, Druid, Duelist, Marauder, and Shadow. Wait, isn't Warrior just a replacement for Marauder, though, or is Warrior the adjacent to Marauder? Oh, I guess Warrior would be the adjacent. Because Mercenary is the adjacent to Duelist. And Templar Druid, you're right. Ah. Yeah, so we have a lot left.
Next up, let's talk about accuracy. Accuracy was always intended to be something that warriors didn't need to care about very much so long as they're in close combat. But unfortunately, that's not currently the case. This was particularly annoying with skills like Bone Shatter, which you certainly don't want to mess with. so we significantly buffed your chance to hit at close ranges when you don't have much accuracy. Warriors shouldn't require any accuracy investment in order to hit with close range attacks now.
We'll see. They don't tell us the numbers, but we'll see.
We also wanted to improve armor. Now, one of the major weaknesses of armor is the inability to defend against elemental damage. In order to mitigate this, we're adding a lot more of the stat that allows your armor to defend against elemental damage.
So it's just percent of armor also applies to elemental damage taken from hits.
It's now available on items and in a lot more places on the passive tree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this is, I think this is a good start, and I think this might just be the just enough. I don't think this is going to be, like, life-changing. I don't think it's suddenly going to make you, like, giga-tanky. But it probably does make things a lot easier.
The most important improvements we've made in 030 is to declunk the action and flow of shooting crossbows. You can now reload crossbows without any movement penalty.
Dude, no movement penalty is nice.
Made in 030 is to declunk the action and flow of shooting crossbows. You can now reload crossbows without any movement penalty.
So now it's just the shot that slows you down.
That can be used while moving now slow you for a shorter amount of time. This change benefits everyone, not just crossbow skills. With both of these changes put together, the run and gun playstyle feels much better.
I might just go back and try Crossbow Witch Hunter again.
This change is for the feel of the class.
I might start with that again.
Chance to talk about how we're rebalancing to make comboing skills much better.
Chronomancer's gimmick was like rewinding, going back in time, echoing skills, etc. The Chronomancer has a couple of big changes though, and Chronomancer was another one that I was considering because I really liked even the jankiness of Chronomancer before. Where is it? Flood of Echoes and Quicksand has changed. So Flood of Echo is, it doesn't give you the Unleash skill. It now grants Inevitable Agony, which curses all targets after a short delay, causing a portion of damage they take to be stored. When it expires, they take that damage again. So that's Flood of Echoes, which is this one. Grants skill Unleash, which was, what does that do? I don't think I used that one. Not the Ranger, you silly. Oh, it doesn't. Right. Right. It doesn't tell us when we go through here. POE2 DB. Unleash. Is that it? This was basically the echo. Yeah. But this was yeah, this is now just you store a percent of damage and it unleashes it again. The other one is what I was interested in. So Quicksand used to be, where is it? Is it this side? Quicksand. Every 10 seconds you gain 50% more cast speed for 5 seconds, which was like, I mean, you know, that's nice, but 10 seconds is a long time, and then you had to like do weird maths to like time it to get to maximize the 50% more cast speed. But I like how it is now. I think this is fun. So now 60% cast speed, but it goes down to 1% over 10 seconds. So it's like boom, and then it decreases. But your AoE, you get increased AoE from 1% all the way up to 60%. And it doesn't like take away anything. It's just you get a big buff and then like no buff on the cast speed. But you get no buff on AoE to like big buff on AoE over the 10 seconds. So I think this, because now it's just like every 10 seconds your cycle is the same. So like you just have to figure out a cooldown rotation and it goes through. This sounds like a class for you. Oh, I mean, I loved playing Chronomancer. Was it last season or it might have been the end of the season before? I loved playing it. I had a lot of fun playing Chronomancer. I think I focused on, I did like a recoup tank rewind Chronomancer, and it was fun. So I will probably do this at some point. I will probably play a Quicksand or Sands of Time Chronomancer at some point, but I just don't know if I want to start with it. I don't know if I want to start with it. What's up, Saito? You can use Dex support gem to maintain move speed while attacking too. Oh.
It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now. Skills much better. Take Shock, for example. It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now. But that isn't really giving you enough time to take advantage of it. If you're going to add a lightning skill into a build that otherwise wouldn't use one, we need to make mechanics like this much better. So we've increased
This is a
shock
big
duration on monsters
change.
to last 8 seconds.
8 seconds is long.
And skills like Plasma Blast, which are intended to be good at shocking enemies, now increase the damage bonus by a lot more.
30%.
You'll find changes like this all around the game. Chill now lasts 8 seconds, giving you more of a reason to weave in cold damage.
Yeah, like
Freezing
the
skills are
8
better
seconds
at
is
Burning skills
big.
need to cause burns that last longer. But making skills like Permafrost Bolts and Incendiary Shot double down on how they're supposed to be used, it makes using them in your build alongside other skills much more likely.
I think 8 seconds is going to be huge for like pushing limits when you're trying to level up and farm, and then bosses. For most other things, it won't matter
Also
too
making
much.
sure to
But
buff specific combos too. The freeze explosions from frag rounds now chain to nearby enemies. And using high velocity rounds with armor break will now fragment the opponent's armor. This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit. Even
yeah,
tiny pellets.
I am interested in
And
some
using
of these
high velocity rounds
changes.
with armor break will now fragment the opponent's armor. This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit, even tiny pellets. So that means following it with a shotgun blast is way more effective.
Yeah, like this feels so much better than
Now, there's a lot more
consuming
buffs to crossbow
armor
skills,
break,
but for
which
now,
was
I'm just
silly.
gonna talk about the new one we added, the Mortar Cannon.
And this one,
This
this
one
is
lets
the
you sock any grenade
Heimerdinger.
and
The
using it will summon a
Heimerdinger.
cannon which loads and then fires the grenade it shoots.
Kinda want to play the Heimerdinger build.
Another issue on the Mercenary were banners. They were just not very good, so we're doing a big upgrade to them. They now last longer, don't disappear when moving out of them.
That's
and we
big.
removed the Valor mechanic. They now
Not
just give a much
disappearing.
more consistent and stronger buff.
Not
and you can
disappearing
use
when
them
you
when
move
get
out
enough
is
glory.
huge. And they're just not now
On
glory
which one of the
based.
main focuses was making various minion types more useful to use together. Melee minions in particular were just
Yeah,
not that great compared to ranged
probably
ones.
won't. At some point, I should try a
Just
minion
straight
build
up
in one of
remove the
these
requirement for minions
RPGs.
to have accuracy. Attack minions now always hit, which makes them way better.
Attacking minions always hitting is nice though.
Brutes got some good numeric buffs, but we also added a new command skill where they do a war cry that intimidates enemies.
And this
and
is cool.
detonates any frozen monsters and allies around you in a big cold explosion.
The fact that you can have them
We've
do
also
war
changed the
cries.
Frost Mage's command skill to an ability that adds ice armor to your other minions, adding a layer of defense. And it makes them deal cold damage back to the attacker as well. The ice armor also makes the minion count as frozen, so the Brute's war cry can detonate them too.
Oh.
Unearth was changed to work on corpses of your dead skeletons, allowing you to summon the minions more easily in boss fights. And they also got a new jump ability, allowing them to get into combat faster. Ray's Spectre was also feeling pretty weak for the spirit cost they have. To be honest, we were a little afraid of these when we first balanced them.
Like I like that they say things like that. Just like, hey, we were afraid it was going to be OP.
Decreased the spirit cost for a large
So,
range of monsters, and have significantly
We're now
increased
going to,
Spectre damage too.
you know,
They should feel a lot
slowly
more
bring them
impactful.
back in line. Last time I played minion
There's
stuff in an
also a
RPG
lot
was
of new
short.
spellcasting
There was a
mechanics
Magic
with
the
new and old
Gathering
skills.
RPG?
But I'll just talk about one of them that I thought was particularly cool. The Reaping Staff is actually a wicked scythe that gives you a new ability called Reap. When an enemy is low in life,
So many people
you
are gonna be
dash
playing
forward and
this.
Break enemies with the scythe to cull them instantly, healing you.
So many people are going to be
Also
playing
inflict
this.
critical weakness on enemies too. Now, there's a lot of balance changes in the Witch's Ascendancy classes, but I'll just talk about 2 of them for now. On the Blood Mage, you were previously required to spend your first points. on
This is
Sanglemancy,
huge too. I never played the Blood Mage,
which
but
really
this
was
is
supposed to be the downside for
massive.
being able to access
I
the
mean, this
powerful
should have
abilities of the
happened.
rest of the
This
class.
should have happened from the beginning.
In order to make picking the Blood Mage a better early option, we've made Sanglemancy free.
I might
unlocking
try
the power
Blood
of the rest
Mage.
of the class immediately.
I might try Blood Mage.
On the Infernalist, the demon form wasn't something people were really using because you lost your weapon stats while transformed. Well, you no longer do, so it's a much better option.
Well, you no longer do. I
On
might
the
try
monk, the
Blood
wind skills
Mage.
needed a big upgrade for sure. Staggering
I still
Calm
haven't
can
played a
now stack
proper
up its
monk. I
duration to use the skill
started an
multiple
Acolyte of
times in a row,
Chayula. Didn't get very
so you can
far
keep the
though.
effect of all your skills throwing up wind much more easily.
But everyone's going to
Wind
be
Blast had
playing
the purpose of building up to
friggin'
dazing enemies.
unarmed Acolyte of
Dazing
Chayula this time, I
wasn't worth all
think.
that
So
effort. Now it just dazes
Maybe
on
I
hit,
wait.
meaning a single wind blast will make all your
Die
skills
during
stun
early
even
access,
more
so it
easily.
depends on your definition of the game. Oh.
Following up with vaulting impact
What
and
are other
dazing
people
enemy
thinking?
previously
Someone
did
was
a
saying
bunch
they
of
were going to
stuff.
do Witch Hunter
Now it allows you
with
to break
spear
your enemy's
crossbow.
stance. When their stance is broken, following up with a fast attack will do way more damage.
Any other ideas that people have
A
already?
cool build that certain people always enjoyed in PoE1 was hand-to-hand combat. But until now, we just didn't have a real way
I
to
am
make it
curious.
viable. Well, that changes now. The monk, as a true martial artist, now has the ability to learn the hollow palm technique, a keystone that lets you use all quarterstaff skills while unarmed.
Wait, so I don't get can attack as though using a quarterstaff while both of your hand slots are empty, but attacks that would use your unarmed attacks that would use your quarterstaff's damage gain physical damage based on this. Oh, I see. So you're using the staff skills. Oh, actually, it's just any attack that would use your weapon, and if it can be used with a quarterstaff. Oh, I guess they are all a weapon based in PoE2. Right. Demon form getting stats from weapon now is huge. I mean, yeah, that just sounds like it'd be big, even if you've never played the Ascendancy. Physical damage based on skill level, 1% more attack speed per 25 item evasion rating. 0.1% critical hit chance per 10 item energy shield. That...
All quarterstaff attacks now have a special unarmed...
Wait, per 10 item energy shield? So 100 energy shield on your items gives you flat 1% addition? That's... So, I mean, if you... Holy... Bro, 100 Thieves should explode this current roster. They are so ass. I mean, well, first of all, calm down, Paradox. Second of all, I mean, they straight up said that this was like... They straight up said they're basically doing whatever they can to whatever they think gives them even just 1% better chance than the previous roster. So I think if you're raging at the performance of the current roster, I think that's on you. I think they set out the expectations pretty clear. I mean, supporting them is fine, but this roster was always just like they straight up admitted that this was a band-aid last-ditch effort of bringing in Kess and having Xander IGLing, right? They had a honeymoon run. People got baited by it, and, you know, it is what it is. I get that it's sad, but they didn't look good at all. They didn't look good at all. But, I mean, I think, like, they will be making roster changes, I'm sure, and... you know, now they have time to work on something long term.
version, and you get further bonuses to all your attacks from stacking energy shield and evasion on your character.
This does seem nice. I mean, it's just energy shield all over again.
Section of the tree is Walker of the Wilds.
Not each recovers based on elemental damage types as physical damage, which is that's massive.
For all those elemental attacks the monk has, but it works well for the ranger too.
Yeah, mana leech off of elemental damages.
Now, one of the least
crazy
used ascendancy classes in the game is the Acolyte of Chayula, so we knew we needed to make some changes here. One of the key things we had to do was make the chaos damage that the Acolyte can do much more useful. So we've added a new skill, allowing chaos damage to ignite, shock, chill, and freeze.
Is that not crazy? That does sound so fun. It's every 2 seconds, actually. That's really fast. But this sounds so fun. This 100 Thieves roster was reaching the end of its competitive life. Yeah, I mean, I think this is like... This run embodies last-ditch effort so well. You had a honeymoon phase. It got you a little bit more over the line. Not good enough, you know?
Embracing the elemental prowess of the monk in a truly chaotic fashion.
This is cool.
In addition, he can make all of his chaos damage leech.
Yeah, which, I mean, this is cool.
And embrace the darkness by moving the effects of the 4-point nodes into the base skills.
Base maximum darkness, 100 damage taken from darkness. Oh. Right, you're just adding it to the base skill.
Grasp of the Void, which leaves void illusions behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of darkness, dealing damage to everything in sight.
That's this is cool.
Void, which leaves void illusions behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of darkness, dealing damage to everything in sight.
I might do Monk. Yeah. No, I think Monk is going to be very, very fun. It's also going to be very popular to try. Whether it's actually good or not, who knows? But I think Acolyte Chayula is going to get a massive boost in popularity in the opening weekend. Like this, the Ascendancy changes plus unarmed is sick. It's crazy.
One of the things we wanted to improve on the Sork is the ability to use multiple elements together more effectively. Now, this might seem small, but one of the things pushing you towards using a single element is debuffs like Elemental Curses, which lower resistances of a single element. In order to fix that, we're making quite a lot of game-wide changes to these kinds of mechanics.
Yeah, this is just overall changes to like debuffs and such. I don't actually know how I feel about this, but if it allows them to better balance things and add things like and tweak things better, then so be it.
Now give Elemental Exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills. Cold Exposure, all three.
Yeah, the reason, like this will absolutely make you mix and match elements more, but I fear that it just becomes I like orange skills over purple skills. We'll see. I mean, I guess you still have the different debuffs like Shock, Freeze, and Ignite.
The same,
but
these kinds of mechanics to broaden what they apply to. So
I
for
don't.
example, there's no longer three curses for fire, ice, and lightning. Instead, there's just a single curse that buffs all three at the same time.
I mean, that doesn't sound so bad though. Yeah, it kinda does, because after the first time, it's just, why do I have 3 different skills that are 3 different colors if they don't really mean anything, right?
And things like Frost Bomb, which gave you cold exposure, now give elemental exposure.
Like, you say that doesn't sound that bad, but imagine if there were just 3 versions of every skill and they were just different colors. Like, that would feel bad, right?
Exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills. You can use it to buff any of your other skills. We also wanted to make switching between different weapon sets smoother. So
but I think the debuff still being tied to elements is gonna be what differentiates them, and then, you know, I'm sure they'll balance it therefore around like this one has more like just flat burst damage, etc. But I'm not sure. Like on paper, I don't know if I like this change. I get it, but I come bearing news of playtests for a wacky immersive sim game. Randomly, all of a sudden? What? Militiner? I don't know if the music's gonna get me bonked. What is this, Tron? What? Why? Where is this coming from? What am I even watching here? Why are we stealing everyone's TV? What in the world? It looks pretty, I agree. I'm still going Poison in this new patch. I mean, Poison sounds like it's going to be way better. What is that game? I say that because getting forced into certain elements felt bad. No, I'm all for being allowed to now having more freedom to mix elements, because I want to do that. I've wanted to do that. So like I'm all for that. I just from the little they've shown, it sounds to me like suddenly now I'm going to be allowed to mix elements, but there's also not going to be really a point other than different colors, which that doesn't feel that great. But this could be one of those things where it's like, you know, with how the debuffs work, etc., and still you have distinct features for each skill. It's not, it just gives you more freedom. In which case, that's great. It's about a giant cop you need to escape from. It was at the Game Awards show. Ah, I see. With this patch, Poison felt Fell off, but now it feels good. Current patch to the new patch? Yeah. No, I think Poison's going to feel a lot better in this patch. I haven't played Poison yet, but it's like to the point where I might want to try playing a Poison build. You get surprised, falsely arrested, and you either need to escape or preview an instance. Ah, I see. That could be fun. That could be fun.
To do that, we've removed the
sounds kind of like, I mean, I guess Dishonored overall, but we always forget. What's the time loop one from Dishonored?
And now happens instantly.
That game was fun.
This applies game-wide too.
So fun that I can't remember the name, but you know.
Now we didn't just want to stop there. We wanted to add some specific mechanics that work between different elements.
Deathloop, there you go. Deathloop was fun. I had a lot of fun with Deathloop. Actually. Yo, Ronnie, what was for lunch? What did we have for lunch?
Certain skills can now drop elemental infusions. For example, when a frost bomb explodes, it leaves behind a cold infusion on the ground. After
this is for...
You can spend it on one of any number of different skills.
This is for the elementalists, right?
Spark will create a nova of cold infused projectiles.
Or is it just all spells? I can't remember.
Ice Nova will leave a chilled area on the ground. And we also added a new low-level skill that fires ice shards. Use it with cold infusion though, and the ice shards will explode. Orb of Storms now generates lightning infusions when you cast enough spells near it.
Prey. I'm interested in trying Prey.
By the way, not just lightning.
Dumplings with crisp skirt and some cool noodles. That sounds so good.
And lightning damage to all the projectiles that pass through it. Or power up Ember Fusillade with lightning, which will generate arcs to nearby enemies as
like this is cool that you can chain these together now. Like I think stuff like this is cool.
Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a projectile, and by infusing it, you can go full pelt.
Because you can infuse them. I think that change is cool.
Blowing up monsters with living bomb. Then use them with Comet to summon a giant fire meteor from the sky. Or use it with Firestorm, which transforms it from a small area into a much bigger one. Firestorm is unique in that it can be infused by multiple different elements at the same time. Add an ice infusion to rain down ice at the same time as the fire. And add lightning to add deadly strikes from the heavens into the mix. Or use it with all three to generate a storm that is truly apocalyptic. Cold Snap has been simply turned into Snap.
I'm wondering that many elemental skills interact with. Some skills create... oh, so this is just built into certain skills. I see.
And just like how you could previously use it on Frostbolt, you can now also use it on Orb of Storms and Solar Orb to detonate those as well. Which means you can create many infusions at once.
No, this is like so smooth and so pretty. I don't know how they're getting this footage.
We also have a Spirit Reservation skill and a support gem to help generate them too.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
On the passive tree, we've added quite a few new keystones to the Sorceress section. Here are a couple of examples.
Dude, I can't wait for this update. 500 new nodes. Complete revamp on support gems.
That makes them trigger periodically over. Now, in addition to
honestly, the Sorceress seems kind of fun to try as well. Maybe I do start Chronomancer.
There are more than 100 new notables on the tree.
But that feels like cheating on Witch Hunter, you know?
20 per class.
I don't know.
Smaller clusters as well. Check out the old.
Dude, this for those who haven't. Avert your eyes if you're gonna get scared of complex-looking things. This is so funny.
And here's the new version. It's a lot more dense, and there's more interesting nodes than before.
Dude, how are you adding this many?
It's a lot more dense, and there's more interesting nodes.
They're just like, oh, we just have too many empty spaces. Let's just fill it up.
Version. It's a lot more.
Look at this place. It just gets like suddenly gets 20 more nodes on its own. It's so fun. The old tree wasn't even fleshed out with the missing weapons. Yeah. No. No, now it feels like a PoE tree. I mean, it actually kind of... Is that more intense than... That might seem more concentrated. Not intense, but concentrated than PoE 1. It feels a bit more concentrated. It's different because the PoE 1 tree is actually quite just like... It's very formulaic. Right? There's basically like 3 rows of clusters. But this is like all the shapes and stuff. But It's probably still less. Actually, it might be more because some of these clusters just have so many nodes within them. More travel. Yeah, I mean, this means more travel nodes too, for sure. But
now we probably can't go through too many.
I think overall this will be good.
Now we probably can't go through too many of these in the live stream, so I'll just show you one from each class's area of the tree. We tried to be a lot more thematic with the new nodes. So for example, the Molten One's gift. It lets
10% fire resist, 50% increase effect of fully broken armor. That's big. Fully broken armor effects also apply to fire. I mean, that's yeah, that's nice.
Fire damage. Or how about last stand?
Wait, that? Maybe I can do my fire crossbow now.
And which gives you lots of stats as your situation becomes more.
25% when surrounded, 25% when on low life, 25% if you've been heavy stunned, and 25% while you have no life flask uses left. There's got to be some way to lock you into low life, yeah? Do we already have a keystone that lets you reserve life now instead of mana?
More desperate. A lot of these have themes aligning with ascendancy classes. Like for the Gemling Legionnaire, for example. You have crystallized immunities, which makes you immune to different status ailments, depending on which support gem color you have socketed the most. Another ascendancy class aligned notable is Sanguimatic Rituals. It allows arcane surges to generate life instead of mana, unlocking that support gem to be used with the Blood Mage Ascendancy.
That's crazy.
In the Sork area, you'll find these Archon nodes that allow you to convert all of your elemental damage to a specific element.
Oh, all of them. Yeah, you have an Archon mode for all of them. Gain Lightning Archon after spending 100% of your maximum mana.
You become a Lightning Archon when you spend enough mana, after which all your skills will be converted to lightning, and you will do extra lightning damage as well.
That is cool.
We have ones for cold and fire too, with different triggers. Here's another cool one. Elemental Practitioner gives crit bonuses if you've triggered a skill recently, while also making crits generate more energy for triggers. Or maybe you'd like the Great Boar. It gives you a reason to stack dexterity to make you tougher, giving a bonus to life and stun threshold.
Dude, life off of dex.
Or the Cunning Fox. It straight up gives you 5% quality to all your gems. Now, another major change is attribute requirements.
Infernalists can reserve up to 75% with their ascendancy.
We felt like players probably had a few too many nodes and attributes, and not enough in interesting passives. So we lowered attribute requirements.
This is so big. Oh, I can't wait.
More points to spend on interesting notables rather than just needing to allocate more strength.
I can't wait.
Now there are way more changes than just these. These are just some of the cooler ones we wanted to show
and then it's
just about enough.
And then it's like crafting and all that, which is all interesting, but okay. And then the new treats. I'm gonna try. I think I was gonna test out having a private league right away in POE2. But I want to try the new. I want to try. I love that he says that.
Fully asynchronous.
I want to try the new trade. The new trade sounds so nice. Sounds so nice. Dude, that's how it used to be. You would just put up your own thread. That's crazy.
Through to the in-game chat, all the way through to using the website. These systems, in all their iterations, work for a while, but with each iteration, new problems eventually reveal themselves.
This player is AFK.
Requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming,
this is going to be so nice.
A new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present.
So nice.
Farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please.
So nice.
And can even be
oh my gosh.
With the introduction of Kings.
That's gonna be good. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these, shall we? New content. Added Fortifying Cry, Fortune. We've seen all of these. Toxic Domain. Toxic Bloom. While in the bloom, you have increased skill costs. Regenerate life on your projectile attacks. Attach a Toxic Pustule, which can be poisoned. Pustules would detonate after duration. Okay, so that's like a toxic extra way to do burst damage and a little bit of tankiness. Ice tips we saw. Frost darts. Conjure. Oh, this is like the early game one. Strength persistent buff. Iron ward. While active, stores a percentage of the physical damage that is prevented. Using this skill releases. Oh, okay. Basically, kind of a retaliation type skill. Mortar cannon. Heimerdinger build. Man, do we go for the Heimerdinger build? Added a new dexterity persistent buff gem. Mirage Archer. That dodge rolling while you're able to create a new mirage will restart the timer. Is that could be a little janky. Ravenous Swarm while active and enemies are nearby. Swarms of insects emerge from your body to pursue enemies. Gross. Swarms are untargetable minions that periodically attack and poison enemies within the swarm. But maybe kind of strong? Kind of gross. While active, has a chance to create an infusion remnant when you freeze. Instead of granting energy shield, it now allows you to collect remnants from your dead reviving minions. Hollow Palm. Ritual Cadence. Changes your invocations to trigger skills every 2 seconds instead of all at once, but trigger skills consume less energy. Black Flame Covenant. Fire damage to chaos damage. Right, you can make your fireballs into purple fireballs. Added a new keystone passive skill. So it changes basically a fire witch into a chaos witch, which is pretty strong. To the east, Walker of the Wilds, Mana Leech. Yep, we saw that. Okay, and then we got all the orb changes. That's all good. Atlas passive, that's fine. Essence, general improvements. You can no longer socket multiple copies of the same skill gem into your main skill sockets. Skills not granted by gems and skills socketed into persistent buff skill gems do not count towards this limit. Wait, skills socketed into persistent buff skill. Oh, okay, I see. Like triggers and stuff. You can still have multiple copies of specters or tamed beasts, but only one of each kind of monster. Fire damage, right? It's flammability. I am kind of curious how this is gonna feel. It probably feels a little better because you see exactly. But okay, so I am a little confused because this says on the enemy based on the damage dealt. Flammability is a debuff that lasts for 4 seconds, and it grants all fire damage a chance to ignite equal to their flammability magnitude. So like, let's say I do a fireball and it does X amount of damage, which inflicts like 20 flammability. Now that monster has a 20% chance to get ignited, but multiple hits can stack, meaning that a target being hit frequently and or hard enough will consistently have 100% chance to be ignited. So it just keeps adding up. But does it get consumed is the big question when they get ignited. But then it says will consistently have a 100% chance to be ignited. So I assume not, or like at least that it's not a long, there's not like a cooldown or anything. So I don't know. Effects which don't hit but ignite targets as though they did also inflict flammability, but are not able to ignite targets. Yeah, this is the thing that really confuses me as well. So like, do these just feel bad now? Like they're just different now, yeah? Maybe not. I don't know. Arcane Surge now grants 15% over 10% more cast speed. Big change. Overflow is limited. Light stun chances of less than 50% are now treated as 0. Elemental exposure now has 50% less effect on magic monsters. Unarmed attacks now have a base critical hit chance. Knowing GGG ignite as though might be a completely dead effect now. What is this BGM? It's just NCS. Just figured we'd have some music on. Ignite as though might be a completely dead effect. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Oil Ground's duration is now refreshed, is kind of nice. Gaining guard, ice crystals. Yeah, there's just a bunch of rename. Parry. Ray Shield and Parry now require you to face the enemy that is hitting you rather than the direction from which the hit originates. Some monsters for which direction is unclear have been changed to be blockable from any direction. Swapping weapons is now instant is nice, though. Okay, Warbringer. Giga buffed, basically. Right? Lots of totem changes. Big Howl and Warcry changes. Wait. Turtle Charm notable passive no longer grants 25% less block chance or can block damage from all hits while shield is not raised, because those have now been changed. Instead, it now provides you take 30% of damage from blocked hits, but maximum block is all the way up to 75%. Stacks of Jade. Warbringer could be fun. Smith. I never actually ended up trying Smith of a Kadava. Maybe I should try. The Cannon's Ready skill now also provides +1 to maximum number of summoned totems. What did it do before? Totems have 30% more speed. Only use skills when you fire an attack projectile. But now gives me extra number of summoned totems. The right where we want them, passive skill now also grants projectile damage, builds pin. Pinned enemies cannot perform actions. But now any projectile can pin. That is cool. The polish that gear notable passive skill now provides gain deflection rating equal to 20% of armor. Whoa, wait, hold on. And no longer grants gain 100% of armor as that's just strength threshold. Wait, hold on. So instead of stun threshold, you get 20% of armor as deflection, and your evasion rating still gives you ailment threshold. That seems kinda goated. The suppressing fire notable passive skill now provides 40% more immobilization buildup instead of projectile damage builds pin. Oh, they just combined them. So they combined this into this. So that's like a buff, but you need an extra level for it. But it gives you overall immobilization buildup. The supporting fire skill granted by the Unleash Hell notable passive skill. No longer grants minions from skill have 1% increased accuracy. Instead, minions from the skill now have 1% increased area of effect. Wait. The death from above command for supporting fire now deals approximately 3 times more damage on all gem levels. Alright, now deals approximately 3 times more damage. Wait, supporting fire? Where's supporting fire? Unleash Hell notable. Grant skill supporting fire. What does that do? Recruit artillery minions that take up positions behind you. They will lay in wait for your command, then fire volleys of arrows at the target location. So now, instead of the accuracy, they have area of effect. Death from above command for supporting fire now deals approximately 3 times more damage. And it just basically does more damage. Is that because... Are they saying this is what it comes out to with the increased area of effect? Surely not. So it just does 3 times more damage now? That's huge. So whoever pays best now provides there is no limit on the number of banners you can place, and banners gain 5 glory per second. Instead of you can just simply place multiple. Added a new strategic embankments notable. Added a new notable, which requires cannons ready. So over here. Wait, that's like a lot. This causes your totems to grant embankment auras to players when placed. So they give you different auras. Ancestral Warrior Totem grants increased glory. Artillery grants increased immobilization. Dark Effigy grants damage over time. Mortar grants damage gained as extra fire. I might want to go for a Heimerdinger build. Chat, I will be right back, though. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to run some ads as well. BRB. All right. Where is wide Chobra? That's limited for after dark. Chat, control yourselves. Chat, I might... Okay, hold on. Honestly... POE2 0.3 starter classes, starter builds. Considerations: Witch Hunter, Spear Expo. Any non-Valorant stream is wide Chobra stream. Should be wide Chobra stream. I was thinking about that. We might do that, honestly. Are you sure you want to leave it up to chat? You're making me type wide. I'm like, wide Chobra as my starter build. What was I saying? What was I saying, chat? Witch Hunter. Spear Expo. But there was another one I was thinking. There was something else I saw where I was like, hold on, this could be cool. Oh yeah, the fire armor break. Or Witch Hunter fire armor break. And then next would be we should Heimerdinger Tactician. Spear Expo Witch Hunter. I don't even know what I would use as my main skill there. Fire Armor Bait Witch Hunter. And then Sands of Time Chrono. Okay. The Tactician sounds fun, though. Just spin the wheel? I mean, maybe that's what we have to do. Ritualist? I mean, Ritualist was fun, but ran its course. I've never played Pathfinder. I haven't played any of the Rangers in PoE 1 or 2. Maybe I should try one this season. Have a good one, Novoid. Thank you, thank you. Sustainable practices notable now grants 50% of vision rain. Also, 50% grants elemental damage reduction. Sustainable practices? Where is that? %30% of evasion reading also grants elemental damage reduction. Oh, so it's just buffed to 50%. Wait, what? That's crazy. Pathfinder mentioned. Are you a big Pathfinder fan? What the heck? Ooh, okay, yeah, I'll update that. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. I wish they do something on no discoverability and support gym discoverability though. What do you mean discoverability? Poisonous concoction has been named acidic. Consumes charges from a mana flask. Dealing physical attack. It consumes poison on hit to cause an acidic burst, which deals damage based on the highest expected remaining damage of poison on the target. Oh, so it consumes the poison. It does not poison itself. My grapples are crazy. Like intuitive way to discover, learn, and explore them in game. The search function's pretty smooth though. I mean, I guess if you mean like if you click on one, it like having a little tooltip that shows you what else can work with it. That was an instant move, Kit Kat. What the heck? I guess if you're talking about like if I click on like if you're talking about like like here, if I click on this, it shows a tooltip of like you can use this with like this, and this. Then yeah, that doesn't exist. But I think that's okay. I think they do that because they don't want to like, because you can't possibly show everything that works with it. So you'd have to show like favored things, but then it's, you know, then they're like guiding you towards a build, and they said they've always disliked that specifically, which I actually liked that though. I actually like that about them, that they're trying not to, you know, nudge you in any direction. Hey, what's up, Yuzaki? This weekend. The update's coming out this weekend. So I like that. Like Torchlight does the whole, you can look at popular builds, like the highest ranking builds in game. Obviously that's a mobile game, so that favors their business strategy. Which you can do on PoE Ninja. On PoE, obviously again, not in game, so I get what you're saying, but oh, do I not have PoE Ninja for PoE2? But I think that's fine. Like, if you want that, you can just quickly look it up. Yeah, but you are a degen. No, but it's not just because of degen, because I think if you do that, it already limits you from thinking about it, though, right? Yeah, like, you could do a toggle. You could do a toggle, but I think... So that's a case where I think if you did a toggle, like... Let's say if you did a... If toggle option for tooltips, like I feel like just, I'm throwing a number out there, but I feel like 85% of players will leave it on, right? So regardless of degen or not, like, and I would also like, even people like me, I would look at the tooltip. I would look at the tooltip and unconsciously filter out other options. Because that's just what I've read already. It's kind of like I felt this a lot when I did a CS internship, and they were immediately like, they just wanted to keep me busy, so they were like, hey, so see if you can figure out a more efficient way of rendering and storing videos. So see if you can figure out like what makes H.264 good. Why has it become the main way of doing things, and how would you improve on that? Right? Obviously, I did not have any skill sets to do that. But what happens is if you don't know anything about it and you just read up on how others have done it, then all you think, yeah, like it was about encoders, and it was like, then all you think about is, because all you're reading is stuff that's already done. Like, all I'm thinking about is this, right? And so you basically turn into a Challengers Valorant team that just copies the meta of the Tier 1 teams, but you can't actually possibly do it better because you don't actually know any better. And I think that's what they want to avoid. Because I think, and the reason I like this is not because I'm a degen, but to me, it tells me that GGG wants to... They want people who want to think to play their game. They are less, obviously they're concerned about player-based retention, but obviously it's worked for PoE1, right? Over 10 years, they've just grown their player base. So over time, it actually brings people in, because once people start playing, the people who like it will stick with it for much longer. But I think if you are playing... But I would argue nearly 50% or 30% of those 85 won't touch the game, though. That's 85% of T1 teams, too. Tier 1 teams, too. True. You're not wrong, Vicky. Welcome. You're right, Yissel, but the thing is how many of those people who would try it because of the tooltip will stay playing it, right? Because you would just... Like, you wouldn't ever... think of doing something else in the game, though, because you tried it because there was a tooltip, so you would just follow the tooltip. Like, I get what you mean. I think, like, there is a middle ground. There is a middle ground of, like, having something. Like, for instance, I think Last Epoch having, like, a proper game guide in the game is nice. I think that's good. Like I don't have to open a wiki for everything. Although the game guide isn't that thorough anymore, so it's like kind of outdated. But I think Last Epoch has that, and that's good. But like, I think the other argument is, okay, when we already have such a big community, like, is that really where we want to spend our resources? Yeah, no, the reason I say this is I just think it's one of those things where that might give a better shorthand benefit, but I think it breeds the wrong type of players for a game like this. Like, I think it's just a slippery slope where you do that, and then you suddenly, to retain all those players, you have to keep making it easier. Whereas if you just set the barrier high from the beginning, you get people who are really committed, or people who learn to become committed, and then you don't. Like, it's kind of like the Monster Hunter Wild situation is how I feel. Like, the Monster Hunter Wild situation is such a good example of that, in my opinion, where it's like, here's a bunch more, like, quality of life, and it's like, great. Thanks. I guess. Right? And it's like, I mean, that one's different because you paid to play it as well, so... Not gonna lie, the POE1 to POE2 pipeline already read the wrong audience now. Chat, did you know my Challenger Circuit VOD got reviewed? Oh. Where? Who reviewed it? Sometimes when you take notes, it can pay you back. I certainly reap the benefits for that. I get to win money from a quiz that have the answers written in the note. Wait, what? Maybe I'm just a nerd. I mean... I'm just saying that I think wishing for discoverability, the reason I'm saying this, Issel, is I just think that I think more people, like, I know you're not just like crying for it, but I think more people need to realize that when you say you wish for more discoverability, that might not be what you actually want. You might be wanting just like a different way of doing it, right? Nice, nice. That's awesome, KitKat. Macro is the harder part, so... Individual inting. Here's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. This is something that I kind of want to start doing, maybe for champs or such, is when we say, like, someone made a mistake in Valorant, the individual mistake actually isn't the problem. Like, if you're a pro, you will fix that, and you should be fixing that. And if you don't, you just won't last long. That's fine. But you always have to think about, why did it even come to that, right? Why did it come to I have to peak like this way or that way or whatever? Like, there's in a team game, there's always a team decision you could have made to make things better, like 3 steps before that. And so, and that's usually very tied to the macro. So if you have macro, knowing how to fight as an Apex squad. Well, okay, but in Apex, I would say that team fighting is part of macro a little bit, but maybe that's not how that community defines it. I would view, like, how to fight as a squad in a game like Apex as part of the macro. I would argue, like, your individual, like, skill mechanics and stuff would be the micro, but maybe the Apex community defines it differently. I mean, I don't understand what you're talking about or doing besides grinding for the item, but I certainly enjoy how you and me as a viewer connect. Right on, Yuzaki. I appreciate that. Honestly, I just hate going to third-party sites for modern games. Wait, you can't even be saying that, Issel. You're not even a Zoomer. What? We used to have to buy written guides if you wanted help on a game. You're telling me that you don't like going to a third-party website for modern games? What do you mean that's the point? We're in the big 20... Oh, I mean, then just play your freaking auto-farming mobile game. What? What? The whole point is that there's a community discovery and there's ways of... Like, what? See, the counterpoint is that that's also another layer of friction. Right? We would just get dumber if everything was in the game. If it was just all out there, like if it was just handed to you, then everyone would just use it. On certain promotional events for sales rep technician that work in the PC radio, they sometimes give a quiz at the end of the event. Oh, really? That's cool. I love looking up wikis. I'm such an assumer. Wait, that's crazy. That's crazy that the reason is simply that you don't want to go to a third-party site. I get it, though. No, I get what you mean. Like, I found that a little bit annoying for PoE in the beginning. But also, if that's what it takes to make sure that the game doesn't have to keep getting simpler and simpler every season to retain its player base, then, like, that's a hit I'm willing to take. That's how I see it. And I do think that if you started adding in many more options for tooltips, then it just becomes mindless. Log in, get the tooltip, go. And the moment a tooltip isn't there, people just stop playing. I do think that's what would happen. And so you would have to start making everything easier, and then you would just be feeding people builds. I think there's other subliminal ways of doing it. I think that's the best they got. In-game wikis. I mean, I think, like, again, I think having some form of an in-game wiki that you can just, like, open in-game and search stuff up on your own is, I think that's a different thing. Like, that's what I mean by the last epoch having a game guide that, like, it gives you a better definition of what certain terms mean or such in the game is good. I would say that PoE2 does that a lot better than PoE1. Just like hovering over stuff, holding Alt for extra details, stuff like that. PoE2 does that way better than PoE1, for sure. But yeah, like I agree. Like, you know, a wiki would be nice. I think that's fine. But I think that's also just at a point where it's like, if it already exists, it's not a priority for them, right? I mean, brother, they have still so much else to work on. I don't think that's even close to like top 20% priority. But I think that's what I mean, though. I think there's a line between, like, there's a wiki you can open and search in game that doesn't just hand you things, versus if I click on a skill, I want it to tell me how many different support skills I can link it to, like, immediately. Like, I think there's a big gap in simplification of the game in that sense, and like nudging players too far. But having the wiki site basically embedded in game, like, in a sense, like that, I'm fine with. That I think is fine, but also that's like something that's probably almost never worth it from a business side, because if it already exists outside, then why are you putting it in the game, right? I'm reading spreadsheets for character builds for GFL2. Wait, what's GFL2? But anyway, going back to other builds. Pathfinder. Girls Frontline. Girls Frontline 2. I tried Girls Frontline 2 for a little bit. I think that's the one I tried. Fulminating Concoction. Obviously, I didn't play it enough to recognize the acronym. That's my bad. No longer inflicts exposure. It has 50% more shock effect. So Pathfinder is all the concoction builds, huh? I mean, I just got a good taste of how strong concoctions are in PoE1, so like, I'm kind of down for that. 5 extra passive skill points is crazy. But I don't know. Man, you only play FPSs, huh? Watching you do Peacock, Geekong, and PoE1. Yeah, exactly. Like, concoctions are fun. Concoctions are fun, but when Final Fantasy Tactics is released, I'll be begging Chobra to play it. Oh, I will be playing it. We just don't know if we'll be playing it on release. I will definitely be playing it. I would definitely be playing Final Fantasy Tactics. Deadeye. The avidity notable passive skill no longer grants 30% chance to gain maximum frenzy charges when you get a free. Instead, it gains 50% chance. No, this is a big nerf. Deadeye? I don't know. I'm not that. I don't know. I'm just not that interested in bow builds. The elemental expression skill granted by the and scatter them to the winds notable passive skill now deals. Okay, this is just balance changes on Invoker. Acolyte of Chayula seems, it does seem fun. I'll put it in. I'll put it in for sure. Of Chayula. Anything. I don't know what would be best for that. Racing games. What's a good racing game these days, Yuzaki? Frenzy charge is a pretty big nerf, but the marks are a massive buff. The marks are a massive buff. Instead, it causes your projectiles chain to marked enemies and grants a new call shots meta skill that repeatedly marks enemies near you. Oh, wait. 5? Okay, that is big. Huh. Chobra, have you ever played Titanfall 2? I played the loving crap out of Titanfall 2. I'm one of those people that actually kind of secretly hates Apex Legends because it basically killed Titanfall 3. I mean, I loved the absolute heck out of Titanfall 1 even. No, I mean, I played a lot of Apex Legends. I just say secretly because I don't actually hate Apex Legends, but it does make me sad that that is the result of it. I loved Apex Legends like for a while when it first came out. I just couldn't keep up with it. I just can't keep up with live service battle royales. Most good racing games nowadays is online multiplayer, like I said, of course, Gran Turismo 7. Gotcha. I think all the Titanfall 2 players resent it. Probably. Blood Mage. – 1% increased critical damage bonus per 50 life. Previously 40. Oh, so this is a nerf. Between the cracks, notable passive skill has been renamed to Sanguine Tides. No longer provides critical hits ignore armor. Instead, it now provides gain 1 life flask charge per 4% life spent, and 50% less life recovery from flasks. It also now has when your life flask recharges, 40% of its charges are consumed, and gain 1% of damage and physical damage for 3 seconds per charge consumed this way. That's very long, but basically, it's not about crit hits ignoring armor, but it gives you a damage boost every time you charge your flask, and it gives you charges for every time you spend your life. The open source notable passive skill has been renamed to Whispers of the Flesh and no longer grants your curses of infinite duration. Instead, it now grants enemies affected by curses have at least 50% of life reserved. Wait, what? Enemies have at least 15% of life reserved. Interesting. Between the Curaxes. Most of those games I most better to play with steering and pedal considering its competitive nature. Yeah, these days for sure. The Infernal Hound granted. Infernalist is another one I've always been interested in. Now ignites enemies within 2.5. Okay. Wait, that's kind of big. The Pyromantic Pact notable passive skill now grants Infernal Flame equal to twice your mana. But causes you to lose 25% of your Infernal Flame per second if you haven't gained any in the past 2 seconds. Demon form granted by demonic position notable possessive skill no longer disables your weapons or has its own weapon set and no longer grants level of spell. Oh right, this is the one where it gives you your weapon stats. Now grants 3% more spell damage per demon flame, and quality now provides 10% increased cast speed while in demon form. Hello, WillChobra. I've made my brain rot magnum opus, the Nongshim Red First Minecraft parkour brain rot. I was having so much fun playing Minecraft again that I locked in and actually finished the map. Hold on, let's watch this. Oh my gosh. Holy 17 minutes. This is so good. This is amazing. It's just shit around me on the logo. This is amazing. Holy. That's actually crazy. Meanwhile, Steph actually just trying to beat the map. This is an 18-minute parkour race? That's crazy. That's sick. This is sick. This is amazing. We will definitely be adding this in. Thank you. Thank you, Steph. That's crazy. This will definitely be a key part of our After Dark streams. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Dude, where do you even go from here? Holy. Damn. Oh, Steph's got it. Oh, Steph's got the movement. Oh, damn. How long do we think Steph would survive in that friggin' parkour city or whatever? Apparently, you never had it. The music just stopped. It's so sick. This is amazing. This is amazing. All right, we'll definitely add this. We'll definitely add this. All right. Does Steph fall down only to creative mode back up at any point in the video? Can't be a proper Minecraft parkour sludge without blatant cheating. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I love that it shows the item bar. That's so sick. That's amazing. This is dope. I do fly, yes. Do you? Where? Where? Oh, when you fall? Okay. All right, well, we got it, Kami. We got the full package. We got the cheating going on. I'm just copying from my idol sideshow. That's amazing. That's amazing. I will be adding that in. Chronomancer. Man, I wonder when this will be updated. Yeah, it's just yeah, this is just updates they can do so far. It's not any of the new stuff. Man, I can't wait to see this just like packed with nodes now. Holy. Skill changes. Hierarchies are now less affected by curses. Blink, such can no longer be activated in specific weapon sets. They are now required to be active in both. Right. So you can't just like blink with a second weapon set. Base damage scaling has been tweaked to scale better in the late game. Generally speaking, spells that do not have damage number changes called out below will have near identical base damage at low levels, roughly 5% more at level 20, and 20% more at 30. The mana cost growth of all skills has been rebalanced. Banners no longer gain valor. Right. Glory when you attack enemies. They all require 200 glory to place. Unlike other glory-based skills, banners can gain glory while the banner is placed. Okay. Global limit of 1, but there are ways, right, to increase. The movement speed penalty inflated by skills now begins to fall slightly more quickly. Marks are no longer spells. They're changing reservation to reservation efficiency. You no longer have... Oh, this is so you can do them with unarmed. Shockwave totem. Let's see. They are changing the mana cost curve, yeah. Ancestry boosted slams now have increased area of bigger increased area of effect. Ooh. Damage buff to inherent skills on wands and staves? Alright, here we go. All the skill changes so far. They'll keep adding more, I'm sure. Ancestral Warrior Totem now has no limit. Socket Mace skills now have 50% less attack speed. That's fine. Arc is now a projectile. It no longer causes explosions against shocked enemies and is no longer a payoff skill. It now chains 6 to 9 times and gems. So more. It now has 50% more shock magnitude. That's huge. You can consume lightning invasion to chain more. Slightly less damage at level 5. But wider range at level 20. Now its non-channeling spells gain 4% of damage as extra. That's for Archmage. Armor piercing rounds. Wait, new? Oh, they added it new to the patch notes. Quality now provides break 20%. Oh, now up to 30%. That's huge. Yeah, totems are getting a big buff this time around. Has been renamed to Siege Ballista. Now has a duration of 8 seconds shorter. Bolt's attack speed is now 25% of base, and they deal 25 to 6% less damage. Why? Bolt explosion radius is now 1.4 meters. This is just like a nerf all around. Maybe I don't want to play Harbinger. Explosion now deals less damage. Was this just like really OP? I never used it. Quality now provides more bolt explosion radius. Oh, previously they gave better attack speed. All lightning, batter shout. Wait, what is batter shout? Explosion now deals 50% more damage against unique enemies. Bone offering, not that interested. Bone shatter shockwave now deals 50% more damage against unique enemies. That's huge. Cast on have been combined into a single gem. Cast on elemental ailment. This gem requires 100 spirit, has a minimum level of 14, and combines the energy gain conditions of all 3 previous gems. This is nice. This is nice. Cluster grenade, primary grenade attack damage is now giga boosted. What? Mini grenade attack damage is now mega boosted. Now fires exactly 18, previously from 14, in a Nova, and mini grenades are fired over a 17% increased radius. Wait, what? Steph, all good. That would have been sick. Sushan, thank you, thank you. I've been slowly shrimping over. Oh. Wait, cluster grenade. Hold on. Cluster grenade. That's big. Skills. Cluster grenade. Big buff. Cold Snap has been renamed to Snap. It can now be used on any orb spell or any frozen shock during that, right, causing explosion. Which is cool. Have a good one, Steph. Why did that get auto-modded? That's so weird. Combat Frenzy now provides 10% chance when you gain a charge, gain an additional. Okay, that's fine. That's a nerf. Comet now deals full damage at 11. More damage, more flat damage, scaling up to way more at level 20. Can now be fire infused. So, yeah, Comet might be one for Chrono. Comet, Chrono. Because of the cast speed and AoE. Contagion, not huge on it. Dark Effigy, not huge on it. Defiance Banner. Aura now grants 30% more armor and evasion rating. Wait, previously 6 to 9%. 30% more. 30% increased move speed. What? They just boosted it by 600%. Now has a duration of 7 to 9 seconds at gem levels 8 to 20. Much longer. And banner is no longer removed when you leave the aura. Quality now provides 10% increased resurrection. Wait. That's massive. Defense plus move speed. Spare detonating arrow grants less. Damn, they really nerfed like the bow. Disengage quality now provides chance for an additional shockwave. Dread Banner aura now grants flash charges per second, many more flash charges per second, 60% more threshold, and also grants elemental resistance. Okay, I mean that's great. We don't really care. Banner seems to have just gotten buffed all around. Earthquake radius is now smaller. Aftershock now has way more damage though, and has a radius of less. Quality now provides sprint damage with hits for each spike on Earth Shatter. Electrocuting Arrow, no longer a movement skill. Elemental Sundering, don't care. Ember Fusillade can now be infused with lightning to cause each ember in an entire fusillade to create a beam that chains lightning damage to enemies. The infusion is consumed when the fusillade fires all embers in that fusillade. Now has a minimum gem level of 9. I do like Ember Fusillade. What Ascendancy does banners? I mean, obviously, again, you can use it with anything, but I think Tactician was the big one. I think some warriors might have used a banner or two, but most people didn't use them because whenever you left the zone previously, the banner would just disappear. But Tactician has, like, actual banner stuff. Like, can place multiple. Banner skills have increased area of effect. Persistent buffs have less reservation. Now reloads all of your crossbow animation clips. Wait, that's big. That's huge for emergency reload instead of just the most recent, and empowers each clip's ammunition to deal increased damage for its duration or until you expend all of your empowered bolts. Now its number of each clip's empowered bolts is equal to the maximum. Wait, this is massive. More countries are streaming Tier 2 on YouTube now. First Indo, now Vietnam. Okay, that's good. That's good, Lightning. Emergency reload. All bolts expo. I like the dodge to reload. I do like that as an idea, honestly. Enfeeble, escape shot, now has the ice fragments, explosive spear, the ignited ground created by the frenzy charge explosion now lasts 8 seconds. Yeah, that's whatever. Release will receive the flame walls added fire damage. That's cool. Falling thunder quality now provides 20% more damage per power charge consumed. Fangs of Frost. Okay, Fireball. No longer creates secondary firebolt projectiles by default. Instead, it can consume a fire infusion to do so. Now is level 3, so they basically swapped Fusillade and Fireball. I do like that. Fusillade feels a little janky at level 3. Primary projectile and explosion now deals more damage at level 3, scaling up to more damage at level 20. Secondary now deals more damage. 8 seconds on the like ailments is just a global change. Like shock is now 8 seconds. The like any burning ground is 8 seconds now. I'm pretty sure. There might be exceptions, but mostly. Firestorm. Now has a base radius. Oh, that's tiny. Half the base radius. Creates 1 bolt every 0.2. Whoa, that's a nerf. No longer consumes Ignite to create improved bolts. Instead, it can now consume every type of elemental infusion. Fire infusion causes a storm to double in size. Okay, it's because of infusions. But now it can do 3 times as many bolts, which is kind of cool. Cold and lightning infusion causes a storm to create additional cold and lightning bolts respectively. 1 of each infusion can be consumed by a single use, so you can't do both. Firebolt damage is now... Oh, I mean, this is because you can, like, combo it. I don't know if I am as interested in that. Flame Maul can now consume a lightning infusion. Yeah, that's fine. Flammability, elemental weakness, that's fine. Flicker Strike. Quality now provides 20% more damage per power charge consumed instead of 20% chance to not remove charge. Wait, isn't this like a massive nerf to Flicker? You just have to consume charge. Maybe there's other ways to generate more charges now. I'm not quite sure. Fragmentation rounds. Explosion from frozen enemies now converts all physical damage to cold damage and will cause further explosions on any frozen enemies it hits. Though this cannot propagate any further. Okay, so it just chains once, which is still big. Explosion radius is now 2 meters. Hits against frozen enemies now have 50% more damage against unique enemies. Pretty good. Frostbomb now deals much less at lower levels. Actually, just throughout, because otherwise it used to be like the #1 way to get through Act 1. Now has a cooldown of 6 seconds. This is a big nerf, actually. Now has a 4-second detonation time instead of a 3-second detonation. This is huge. This was like the way to level early. Now it chills enemies as though 300% more damage. Now applies elemental exposure. Now it deals... It's much more of a combo thing now. Frost Wall now deals 80% less damage in the first 0.5 seconds. Base projectile speed has been lowered on Frostbolt. Yeah, this is huge. I mean, I get it, though. They want it to be more of a install and then combo rather than a bam, bam, bam. Frozen Locust. Ice Crystal now deals 80%. Oh, same thing with this. Ooh, Galvanic Shards. Did this get nerfed? This used to be Giga Strong. Ammunition no longer has 50% less reload speed. It had 50% less reload speed? And now has 1 bolt loaded per clip. Wait, what? Previously 5. Projectile attack damage is now 21 to 54% at gem levels 5 to 20. Okay, well it's bigger. While the beam attack damage is... Oh. Now fires 8 fragments per shot. And has a mana cost of 10 to 48. Wait. It's better, but what is this reload speed? Wait, I don't remember this. Load your crossbow with a clip of charged bolts that fragment in flight, releasing chaining lightning beams when they hit enemies. Using this skill, again, reloads the clip. Oh, 50% less... Right. So every time you reloaded it, you could shoot 5 of them. And you could add more per quality. But now... It doesn't have less reload speed. But it has 1 bolt loaded per clip. So it's not a auto shotty. Oh, quality now provides fires more. So they want it to lean into. Man, is this not just now? It's well, I guess it was either way. It was just a better fragmentation rounds anyway. So they want this to be like the big burst shotgun, like the 1 single burst. Yeah, so you can't. Yeah, it's not an auto shotty anymore. We'll see. The damage numbers are much bigger. Galvanic Shards, not auto shotty anymore. That is kind of big. No longer has special behavior causing it to detonate as soon as it stops bouncing. Instead, it certainly obeys its detonation time. Glacial Bolt, Glacial Cascade, no longer consumes freeze. It now consumes freeze on non-unique enemies, so 150% more damage. Consumes freeze on unique enemies, so 500% more damage. Oh, it's better on uniques. Okay, that's cool. Hailstorm rounds. What's Hailstorm rounds? That's a bow skill. Not interested. Hand of Chayula. Quality now provides 20% increased duration of Sakura gems. Instead of supported curses, have 10% increased magnitudes. Okay. Herald of Thunder got nerfed. I think that's fine. Hex Blast, we're not that interested in right now. No longer consumes fully broken armor. This is big. It's going to feel so much better. Instead, hitting a fully armor broken enemy will apply another debuff, which causes your attack hits against an enemy to deal additional physical damage equal to... Now, this is huge. This is huge. Yeah, this is huge. 5 damage equal to 5% of the physical damage dealt by a high velocity round that applied the debuff. That's... Store damage. And you don't consume it, so they're just fully broken. That's so big. Ice Shards, Ice Nova, Incendiary Shot. Now as ignites you inflict with the skill or term is faster. And also now has 30% increasing ignite duration for each pellet that hits a target. Now inflicts 300% more flammability. Quality now provides 50% increasing ignite duration. Okay, I mean that's okay. Incinerate. We like Incinerate. Now requires fuel gained by spending mana to use. Wait, what? No longer has a mana cost itself. Ooh, this sounds janky. It sounds janky. No longer applies fire exposure. Its cast speed is now fixed and it gains a stage every 0.25 seconds. Its cone length is bigger. It now has 12 stages. It no longer creates burning ground by default. Instead, fire infusion can be consumed to create ignited ground. Radius is bigger. Its minimum gem level is higher. Beam now has 50% less ignite duration. But it's less damage. Okay, Infernal Cry, that's fine. Not that big on it. Lightning Spear now fires 5 secondary bolts, down from 8 max. No longer deals more damage when consuming a frenzy charge. Giga nerfed. Oh man. Living Bomb. Seems like a buff. Living Bomb and Solar Orb have swapped places. Living Bomb is now a tier 5 skill gem, while Solar Orb is an inherent skill to the Pyrophyte staves. Oh, okay. Magma Barrier, right. This is just a passive change. Plasma Blast now has 50% more magnitude of shock inflicted. No longer has 30% more chance to shock. Projectile now converts 80% from 70%. Plasma Blast is the big one, right? Yeah, the tier 13. More magnitude of shock inflicted. Projectile now converts 80% to lightning damage. Okay. Looking forward to all the no longer consumes whatever. It should make those skills a lot smoother. I mean, it will make them smoother, but it also, most of them, it will be a nerf. Because if you had figured out a build where you could upkeep the maximum charges, then... Oh, well, I guess not for other things, it would just be smoother. But, like charges and stuff. But if you mean, like, debuffs, yeah. For sure, for sure. Like Ignite, armor break, things like that. Poison Burst Arrow. Do I want to try a poison build? Rake is no longer incorrectly tagged as a travel skill. This tag was left over from an earlier version of the skill that traveled much further, whereas the release version of Rake does not meet the criteria for a travel skill. Please note that this was not a balance motivated change, considering this is the primary goal of gem tags. And we would have nerfed the Rake plus Stomping Ground interaction in a different way. Oh, right. Yeah. The spearheads left by the final strike now last for 30 seconds. Okay. 30 seconds? Wait, that is... You just never have to worry about it anymore. Ripwire Ballista has been renamed to Artillery and now fires hail of bolts into the air, landing in an area and hitting all enemies within that area. Bolts now fire 4 projectiles less and deals 40% attack damage at gem level 20 compared to 100. So the ballistas have all been nerfed in terms of damage, but why? Were they just super strong? I don't understand. The ballista now has a duration of 12 seconds. I don't understand. There must be some interaction that makes them inherently stronger. Maybe just more nodes? I don't know. Maybe just more nodes. Shield something. Kitava? Wait, Spearfield was 73 to 204% of attack damage compared to 17 to 49. This is... They actually are going to do damage now. Oh, but it's the same thing. Okay, so any like trap-based things, they don't want to do instant damage. I see. It no longer has an unintentionally hidden 300% more damage. It used to have a 300% more damage after 45 seconds. What? That's crazy. Okay. 'Poison Ranger. Concoctions? Exploit early, exploit hard. No, that's so funny that it used to have that. That's so funny. What do I want to... Oh, man. What are Kitava's... I didn't get to try Kitava this last season. Right, the free armor. 40% base chance to block from a quick shield instead of the shield's value. Wait, this is getting changed though because of how block changes. Now grants 35% base chance to block from a quick shield instead of the shield's value. Wait, instead of the shield's value? Oh. That it just changes that. Right. But 25% and then Turtle Charm is a big buff, no? No longer grants less block chance or can block damage from all hits. Instead, but it raises your maximum block chance. Yeah, Stallion. I mean, that's fine. I just thought that was funny. shield warbringer perhaps? But I mean, not going totems with warbringer seems like you're trolling. Spear. This is Path of Exile 2. It's not looking like that anymore. We don't know what the new one looks like yet. Yeah, so POE2 they've made it so they actually have like shapes that look like what they're supposed to signify. Like this looks like a sword because it's a sword tree. This looks like a crossbow because it's a crossbow tree. Whereas POE1 was just like circles, a bunch of circles everywhere. That's kind of pretty, actually. Probably won't look that pretty anymore, but... Oh, we don't have... We can't do this by weapon, can we? Ooh, they already have the lineage support gems. Oh. They just have the ones that were shown. I mean, this should... The DB probably has the most updated information, right? I don't think the wiki will have... Oh, I guess you mean in terms of, like, skill gems by weapon? Yeah, that's true, actually. Gems, I guess. Wait, this is Path of Exile 1. What the? Where's my Path of Exile 2? What the hell? I thought I clicked on 2. I was about to say, that looks very different. Weapons. Okay. What... Is there anything that really works with spears? Storm Lance, maybe? Hey, what's up, Denji? I'm in a pulse that consumes, freeze, shock, and ignite on a number of nearby enemies. The pulse itself deals no damage, but each element consumed causes an explosion of the corresponding type. I actually just don't know if this makes sense. I don't think so. I don't think there's really any skill combo that goes well with that. But fire armor break? This could go hard. Although, if I'm going to do that, maybe I just go Kitava. Right? Am I missing something? Anybody else can think of any good combos between spear and crossbow? I'm not really seeing it. Not really seeing it, unfortunately. I mean, you could just do a spear witch hunter. I mean, that's fine. Witch hunter doesn't have to use a crossbow. I think spear witch hunter actually could do well. But I mean, I guess you could do something like crossbows for AoE and spears for bosses, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not really seeing any type of synergy. Hey, Principessa. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we want to start. I am curious why the ballistas all seem giga nerfed, though. There must be something I'm missing. So probably, I'm thinking Heimerdinger Tactician, Fire Armor, Armor Break, Witch, or Kitava. No, Kitava doesn't have the new tree. POE doesn't have the new tree yet. They probably won't have it fully until a couple days later. I don't know if there's one floating around online that's been like extracted from somewhere else, but I mean, this will change a lot too. That is true. So unless there's builds like I specifically just want to try with new ascendancy and skill changes, the POV will change a lot. But then, oh man, I kind of... Alright, let's think about Chrono. If I want to go with Sands of Time, which we know is changing from... Like, that's not updated yet, right? Yeah, it's just version 02. Where it has faster cast speed than faster or bigger AoE. What is... Wait, no, that's not what I want to do. Get me to skill. What in the world is a skill tree? It's not that scary, chat. It's not that scary. Trust me, it's not that scary. Oh, this isn't the best way to look at this. Oh, actually, here I can probably do this. Spell, right? Chat. Where is spell? Spell. Here we go. Something, okay. So like two things where faster cast speed would help a lot and then bigger AoE would help a lot. And now we don't really... We can worry about the elemental part later. Firestorm is getting changed. No, this hasn't been updated yet. Your electricity got cut. What? Solar orbit is now built into stabs. After a short duration... This has been changed, but the cast speed should help. I've heard that, yeah, I've heard that Noshim's had a rough stage. The LSK format is a little borked. I didn't realize. It's actually not that great. Yeah, exactly. It just kind of, it just makes middle of the pack teams feel worse or way better. It's such a weird. It like you're like actively creating a gap in your own league. I don't know. I mean, at that point, why not just separate into tier 1 and tier 2? Like it's weird. Ember Fuselaw could be cool. Garageable is a tag? Was that always? Huh. Shock Nova. Ooh, wait. Flame Blast? Wait, what is the stage tag? Oh, stages. I see. Because I played a Flame Blast walking tank chrono. Wait, modifiers to cast speed also affect the skill's cost? Oh, because it was per second. Yeah. RNG got sent to play in the same league as their academy roster and forfeit all their games. Wait, really? Wait, what? I didn't hear about that. That's what happened in the LPL? That's crazy. Flame Blast? Dude, 60% increased cast time. Okay, wait, what would just be better with AoE? Like a bigger AoE? I guess Comet. But it is a long cast time. I guess Fireball? But I think like the orbs would be nice for the bigger AoE. Yeah, they have this whole thing where the extremely bad teams for Split 1 got relegated to Tier 2 and can't compete for the rest of the season. What? That is cooked. Ooh, we could wait, hold on. You could do a Fusillade Shock or Ignite Comet cast on Comet build. Uzi suing our, I mean, I figured when you said X players, I figured Uzi would be one of them. Wait, Sands of Time, Fusillon Comet could be cool. Bigger AoE. Or Frostbolt could be good. Wait, this is... This is interesting. Could you do After Dark? Oh no, what have I done, chat? I've gotten you addicted to the to brain rot. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. What have I done? Let me chat. Give me some time to update the After Dark stuff. It'll come back with some updates. We gotta figure out the Death Slam. We gotta figure out friggin' Hyper Steph's Minecraft brain rot. Give me a little time. The brain rot has to ferment. It has to ferment. Thank you for the hider. The children yearn for the brain rot. Yeah, I mean, 4A we might add to normal streams, honestly. Actually, Incinerate might be good too. It has been changed, but Incinerate could be good too. Oh, chat, I just want POB to be updated. I need more information. Chris, Storm of Arcane Energies. Like, I do want to just play like a traditional Fire Ice Mage. I've always wanted to do that. Mana costing spells while I remain inside of it. But that always feels bad because Shock just does more damage. So Shock always just feels better. Is this not AoE? This isn't AoE, huh? You can't make this bigger. Although, wait, I wonder, can it still be supported with greater area? I'm not sure, actually. Probably just makes it bigger. Do you know what time it drops? 5 a.m. KST Saturday. It's actually so cooked, chat. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna watch EMEA Friday night at midnight, and then potentially before that ends, POE2 drops. But like, listen, I'm not part of any race. Servers probably will be cooked for a little bit, so like that's okay. But then America starts right after. But it's okay, actually, because it's gonna be after dark anyway. Because my sleep schedule is gonna be borked. So we will be playing this during end of EMEA and Americas. And then I have to stream it all the way. I don't have to, but I want to be streaming POE2 all the way to Tokyo for the lower finals of Pacific. And that I can't, I have to pay attention to. That I have to pay attention to. So I will be trying to pay attention to Tokyo with zero sleep. And then subathon until champs. Let's go. What's up, comment? And then when Pacific ends, we will have approximately 2 more hours to play POE2 before EMEA starts again. No. This is what we do, chat. Actually, no, I figured it out. No, I figured it out. I've just figured it out. Okay? Friday, I don't know. I nap. And then midnight on Friday, we start EMEA, okay? And then this drops at 5 a.m. We go after dark. EMEA plus POE2 login screen, okay? And then at 6 a.m. it's America's plus POE2 after dark version. And that ends around like whenever, right? So 11 a.m. we go full POE2 all the way until 5 p.m. we go Pacific lower finals. Holy crap. This is essentially a 24-hour stream. And then that will end around like 9 to 10 p.m. We sleep. And then midnight we wake up, EMEA plus POE2. Rinse repeat. I can't rinse repeat though. Sunday I have to go to church, but I guess I'll go to a later service because I do want to watch the like lower finals of Americas in full. So I'll go to church. I guess on Sunday I'll have to nap. Unlucky. Wait, this is pretty doable though. Chat, this is pretty doable. Chat, you guys make it sound like no, that's not 30 hours. It's just 24 hours. It's 3 hours of sleep in 24 hours. Well, it depends on when I wake up on Friday. So I got to make sure I like nap hard. I got to make sure I friggin' nap hard. I mean, chat, maybe I should just switch to EU time now in preparation of champs. Chat, maybe I should just ruin my lifespan for one seasonal launch of POE2. No, but this weekend I do want to watch all the like lower finals and finals of all 3 regions. So that we will have to do. But Mrs. Chobra's asleep. she doesn't need to know. But EMEA and Americas, but grand finals and lower finals I do kind of want to pay attention to. Or you can miss all the inferior regions. So you can, well, I mean, they are inferior, but I will have to know what the teams are doing before champs. Damn, POE2, why? Why can't POE2 be this past weekend? Dude, the last Epoch update is rough, chat. I mean, I think they still have so much to work on that game. It's unfortunate. Pacific might not even have all its players there. Yeah, maybe we should just go after dark for Pacific. Maybe we skip Pacific lower finals, chat. No, this one's important though. This one's super important because I need talent to win. I need talent to go to champs. This one's kind of important. Whether RQ has all their players or not, we all need talent to go to champs. I don't hate DRX, just so everybody knows. You might hate DRX, that's fine. I don't hate DRX. I like DRX. I love Hyunmin, right? I want all the best for Mako, but they are absolutely the worst team right now. Talon is absolutely the better team right now. We need Talon to be going. Is T1 going to champs? Yes, they are locked in. Yeah, and we already, like, T1 is the epitome of the team that, like, fulfills the points narrative. So, like, we already got one team like that. So, send Talon. Frost is way too funny. Yeah, Frost at champs would be funny. Although we do need him to.
It would be really tragic, wink, if RRQ doesn't field their roster because of visa issues.
Hey, something. Thank you for the tier 1 resub over here on Twitch. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. I feel like RRQ is actually going to all be there though. You know what the worst part is? I was looking at the matchup a little bit because I'm on Plat Chat tonight. I think RRQ's better, chat. RRQ. That's how the text-to-speech always says it. RRQ. But anyway, chat, this is, if I wake up, okay, if I wake up at like 10 p.m. Friday, this is doable. 24-hour grind, sleep for 2 hours, grind again. It's doable. I might die, but it's doable. RQ in the same format as their last game would be the #1 team in any other region. Hold on, I don't know about #1. Hold on. I don't know about that. Fuselade plus Comet feels so boring, chat. Give me something else. What gets boosted by AoE? There's got to be something that gets giga boosted with AoE. There's got to be something that gets giga boosted with AoE. I need BBL to go to champs. I want BBL to go to champs. Go for a Korean bathhouse massage to wake up. Plat chat, there's a new face. Oh, yeah. So for those who don't know, the new guy, so he's actually, this is Alan. This is Alan. He's a VCT China. What the, dude, people. Oh my gosh, we even have one of our viewers here. I can't even flame. People, find a hobby. What are we doing in the Plat chat freaking 2 hours before the show? Alan is actually one of the main casters in VCT China, but he's fluent in English, and he's one of the best sources for like other VCT casters for Chinese teams. Alan's also just really chill. He's really nice. Alan's great. Alan is great. So I'm glad he's coming on. They all wait from about 2.5 hours before. That's crazy. The unhealthy cultural impact that this bald man has in the Valorant community is insane. Is Nongshim Chobra predicting our tier talent today? I can't say. I can't tease that. I mean, maybe Shock Nova. Honestly, maybe I just rely on the Giga cast speed every 10 seconds for Ember Fuselade. There's gotta be something cooler I can do, chat. There's gotta be something cooler I can do with this new Ascendancy skill. Actually, even with the Frostbomb nerf, maybe Frostbomb. Actually. Is being bald like Sideshow in the plans for you? No. Are you coming back with an After Dark stream and Plat Chat is over? No. I mean, I won't be going to sleep right away, but I won't be staying up for that much longer. You know what? In fact, I should probably take that time to retool some of the... I might be watching some VODs on my own. Maybe I'll retool some of the After Dark stream stuff. Who do you think will thrive more in champs, though? RQ or Talon? See, that I don't know. I don't know. I think RRQ. But that's simply because of, like, experience and adaptability from the players based on the style that they play. I actually think Talon is stronger, but I can just see it. I can just see them like unnecessarily taking fights at jumps. So I can just see it. Yeah, but I think, to me, I'm willing to give RQ one more. I'm willing to give every team one more chance if they look great otherwise. Like if they just have an absolute flop at their first international, I'm willing to give, or like the core of the team has it's their first time at an international and they flop. I'm always willing to give them one extra chance if they've looked good otherwise. So I think that will be pretty big for RQ. There's a high chance Patrick who plays for Velocity at Ascension. Really? That would be exciting. When do you think we'll know? Probably like the day before. I feel like the teams are probably just going to farm impressions until like the day of. Okay, if I do... Oh! Wait. Snap. Snap, chat. Oh, snap. Maybe we go snap. In fact, maybe we go incinerate snap. I can already tell that this is going to be borked. Based on how excited I just got about it, I can tell it's going to be bad. I genuinely think Riot should have more time between regionals and international so that people can get more time to resolve any visa issues. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they do about it in the future. It's always kind of tough because more than 2 weeks is rough. But I think it's a little bit of poor planning just because we have to actually like move countries if we want to do road shows for finals. We should just do like opening week road shows. Maybe. Okay, that might... Okay. All right. Honestly, I think my order of interest is this way. Fuselage plus Comet. Or... Fuselage Incinerate plus Snap. Or we can potentially do... There's a way where I could do... Oh, there's probably something crazy we can do with Hex Blast, actually. I mean, Mana Tempest could be good, I think. I should go in and check what Shock Nova actually feels like in the game. Okay, this is probably my order of considerations. If I can figure something out for Sands of Time Chrono, maybe I start with that. But Heimerdinger Tactician actually sounds so fun. I'm actually really curious about the Fire plus Armor Break nodes, so that will probably be another one. And then my, like, for fun will probably be a shield build. Man, does that mean Poison gets knocked all the way back down again? Maybe. Oh, yeah, I think this will be my order of interest so far. Heimerdinger Tactician, Sands of Time Chrono. Honestly, I think Fuselage Comet just works. I think you can do this where you just make this automated. So, but it takes advantage of the bigger AoE. And then this just takes advantage of giga cast speed every 10 seconds. Because then maybe... Wait, what did Unleash get changed to? Sands of Time. Okay. Flood of Echoes. No longer grants Unleash and now grants a new skill node item which curses all targets in an area after a short delay, causing a portion of damage they take from hits to be stored in the curse debuff. That. This is the reset cooldown. Maybe I get that. That could be good. Wait, or maybe if I get the extra cast speed, the now and again plus Unbound Encore could be good too. But Time Snap has a long cooldown, right? Prince of Persia mentioned. Yeah, this is still a 40-second cooldown. So it's not worth relying on. 33% chance is not great either. But the thing is I remember thinking about this. Like, I don't even know what you would want to necessarily hard reset your cooldown on. Like, what even has that long of a cooldown? Wait, why? Since when does Flame Blast have a cooldown? What? No shot. What? Since when did that have a cooldown? Huh? Really? Can we see version history here on the DB? Huh. I think... Wait, which one do I think will go farthest in Champs, G2 or Sen? Oh, that's tough. I think G2 goes pretty far, though. They both probably go pretty far. I wish they made a movie about PoE characters. I feel like that would go so crazy. Is Nungshin Persia named after Prince of Persia? I don't think so. I've never asked. Wait, Flame? Why does it have a cooldown? When did they add a... What? Oh my gosh. Wait, what? They added this in 0.2? So I only played it in 0.1? Wait, what? What? 15 seconds is insanity. Huh. Is that... They also giga nerfed the damage on it. What the... I totally must have missed that. Well, that doesn't work. Well, I mean, I guess that's a good candidate for the cooldown reset. It doesn't have to be a spell. But, like, what even has a massive cooldown? I think it's stuff like this, right? Wait, this is just glory based. What's the, Wait, what are these? Oh, these are the ascendancy skills. Wait, no? What the? I totally missed these. Yeah, I guess time freeze. Like, you're meant to tie it with time freeze, but... Yeah, the cooldown reset is cool, but it's tough, I think. Oh, I wonder if you could... Oh, wait, there's something crazy you could do with potentially monk skills. Did you see that some of the new support gems were leaked on POE2 TB? I heard about it. I don't think I've taken a look at any of them yet. Are there some crazy ones? Wait, maybe because there used to be a crazy crossbow chronomancer build. Cast time into a big AoE. Honestly... Today's episode won't feel perfect without TMV crashing out. Maybe that's what we want to avoid. Yeah, maybe there is... I don't know which of these really has a long cooldown, though. Wait, where's that hammer skill? Isn't that supposed to... Wasn't that the... Yeah, this one... Oh, this is with Glory too, though. Oh, did they change that? Maybe. See, that's the thing about... The cooldown reset is just like... What am I even supposed to use that with? I think it's really just meant to... For the time freeze. I can't really think of anything else that has a long cooldown. And freeze is 55 seconds, so like that makes sense. At the very least you cut it down to 40 seconds. Sometimes you get luckier, but mean, I guess it kind of works with Flame Blast now. That's so funny. That is funny. Yeah, maybe I'll cook on the Sands of Time Chrono a little bit more. All right. I think that's the plan. All right, chat. I gotta go figure out some food before Plat chat, so I think we're gonna hop off. I was actually gonna try to run through the campaign a little bit today, but I guess we'll do that tomorrow or something. Yeah. Lost beyond all the changes. Can't wait for the new bosses. Actually, true. The new campaign and the new sub-acts and the new bosses should be good. This patch is gonna be so fun. But yeah, so we'll continue cooking this. We'll probably practice the campaign a little bit. Check out maybe how some of these spells feel during this week. But I will be on Plat Chat in about 30 minutes. So if you want to come hang out, come visit Plat Chat on YouTube. And otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the new subs. Thanks for the new follows. Thanks for the raids. And have a good one. See you guys tomorrow.